Welcome into Montreal Canadiens hockey on TSN 690. I am Sean Campbell in for Victor Finley once again as the Canadiens get ready for the Boston Bruins. And just like the Canadiens and the flu bug hitting that locker room, it has hit the locker room here at TSN 690. No JP O'Connor, no Coach John Goins. I've got my very best friend along for the ride tonight, Mitch Gallo. Welcome to the analyst position.
Well, thank you. You know what, Campbell? Just like any team that's going through the injury bug, next man up mentality here on TSN 690. So I'm glad that I get to work this game with you. And it's obviously always a lot of fun when it's the Montreal Canadiens taking on the Boston Bruins.
Well, the news was Cole Caulfield, Brendan Gallagher did not take the skate this morning. However, they are both in. Also, it's going to be the re-debut of Phil Deneau with the Montreal Canadiens as he joins the team. He's also been under the weather.
Phil Deneau missing a couple of games before being traded by the Kings. He'll slot in, Campbell, tonight with Josh Anderson and Alexander Texier. And hopefully Deneau can relieve some of the responsibility from Nick Suzuki defensively, because Nick Suzuki right now needs to get going offensively. Bit of a quiet game against the Pittsburgh Penguins a couple nights ago. And really good to see that Cole Caulfield is going to be in the Canadiens lineup. Campbell, he has not missed a game since undergoing shoulder surgery back in 23. 2 straight seasons of 82 games and hasn't missed a game this year. And I'm sure really wanted to be in the lineup for this one, even if he's a little bit under the weather.
Yeah, for Cole Caulfield, it's no goals in his last 6 games. He had no shots against the Penguins. A post, but he had no shots in the last game, and that is a rarity when it comes to Cole Caulfield. But maybe Boston is exactly what he needs. 5 goals in 8 games versus Jeremy Swayman. Let's head down to ice level. We've got double anthem night in Boston.
Singing of the national anthems, accompanied by Bruins organist Ron Poster, please welcome Todd Angeli. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
It is now time for your starting netminders for the Canadiens. They turn back to the rookie, Jacob Fowler, formerly of Boston College in Boston. 2-1-1, one shutout, 2.49 goals against average save percentage of .915. Jeremy Swayman will be in his 6th straight game as he had to come in for a corporate salad just over the weekend. 14-9-1, 2.78 goals against average, .906 save percentage. Your referees today, Brandon Blandina and Furman South. On the lines, Mac McPherson and Dan Kelly. But Mitch, Jacob Fowler gets the start. How about playing in Boston when you're from Boston College?
I'm sure he's really excited for this one and feeling really confident coming off that shutout win over the Pittsburgh Penguins on Saturday night. You know, when you have a goalie like Jacob Fowler, you're going to get a lot of firsts, right? Your first game at the Bell Center just a few nights ago, and now your first game in Boston.
And your first fight off the draw, it's going to be Josh Anderson and Tanner Jeannot. Once again, these teams going head-to-head at puck drop. Jeannot with the first couple, and here comes Anderson with 3 straight. Then he takes a shot from Jeannot. Offensive tilt, now switching back to the right hand is Jeannot, trying to shake himself free. Undercut from Anderson. Heavyweight tilt between these two to get this game going. Anderson coming over top. Underneath and over from Jeannot. Anderson still going. Both men will not budge. Finally, Anderson goes down from Tanner Jeannot. But that's a big fight to start things off in Boston.
Last game against these two teams, it was Jaden Struble with the fight with Nikita Zadorov right off puck drop, and tonight it's Josh Anderson and Tanner Jeannot. Jeannot in his first season with the Boston Bruins.
Montreal 17, 5 minutes each fighting.
And he's fitted quite well in Boston with the Bruins. And for Josh Anderson, you know, we don't see him fight as much as we did maybe earlier on when he first joined the Montreal Canadiens, but still something he's willing to do. And it's funny also seeing Phil Danault tap his stick. First face-off for Danault, gets the opening shift assignment, and now his line mate is off for 5 minutes.
And here comes the Bruins. It's going to be Kastelik in on the forecheck for the Bruins. Trying to bring it back to the blue line, but intercepted by Texier. Gallagher will jump on that line for now with Anderson in the box. Gallagher with a forecheck on Lindholm. That's Elias Lindholm, and there's also Hampus Lindholm. We'll have our first penalty. It's going to the Bruins. As Philip Danault in on the forecheck at Texier and Gallagher, earning the Canadiens a power play. And to the box is Hampus Lindholm.
Boston penalty, number 27, 2-minute minor, holding.
Now puck behind the Boston net, and very easy for the referee. As soon as you get your hand off the stick, you know that if you get any contact with the opposing player, especially a player in an offensive zone situation, the referee easily makes that call. So the Canadiens get an early power play here after that opening fight between Anderson and Jeannot.
Suzuki will get kicked out of the draw. Bolduc will come in. Canadiens power play 25.8%, 6th in the NHL. Face-off won by the Bruins, and it's off the dasher, but kept in by Cole Caulfield. Did not skate this morning to center point, over to Hudson. Caulfield down low to Suzuki as they work that left side. Both right-handed players, and a pass through, trying to find Bolduc on the other side. Did not work. Zachary Bolduc will pick up that puck along the boards, take it to the blue line, and it'll go off his stick in about 12 rows up. Heads up. Watch out. And it'll be an offensive zone face-off for the Canadiens.
Bolduc on that first unit of the power play rather than Ivan Demidov. And Bolduc kind of mishandles the puck twice there. The first one, bit of a tough pass between his feet. And then the second one gets deflected out of play as he's trying to make a pass over to Cole Caulfield.
So the Canadiens power play right back to work. Early power play opportunity. Top line will stay out there with face-off win by Suzuki over to Hudson at the blue line. Over to the left wing side to Caulfield. Slavkovsky's on the far side, but the pass is Caulfield. Hudson, they go back and forth, top of the circles. Caulfield backs up to the blue line, puts in the corner for Suzuki, back to Caulfield. Hudson slides over to the right side. He receives the pass. He'll cross over with Caulfield. Caulfield with the puck down low below the goal line to Slavkovsky. He looked up, lost the puck on the blade of his stick, and that'll allow the Bruins to get it down the ice with a minute 15 left in this opening penalty.
Very aggressive penalty kill from Boston, forcing the play up top and not giving Hudson or Caulfield any time.
In the neutral zone, Caulfield drops it over to Slafkovsky. He'll put it over to the open wing on the right side, and Bolduc can't handle it. And it'll be brought in by Fraser Minton, and he'll throw it behind the net. And the Canadiens will leave it there. They got to watch out. Minton came in on the forecheck, but poke checked ahead for Slafkovsky. Up the ice, through the neutral zone, taking the blue line. Takes it to the right wing boards, to the blue line where Gallagher to the high slot. It's Hudson, slides it over to Suzuki, and Suzuki hits the outside of the net. Hudson was right between the circles, opted for the pass instead of the shot.
Very close to being offside on that entry, though. Juraj Slafkovsky with the extra move at the blue line, and Bolduc had to really drag his skate along to make sure that he stayed onside, setting up eventually a Nick Suzuki one-time opportunity from the left side.
Yeah, just hit the outside of the net, trying to get it on the inside corner. So late stages of this opening power play, Canadiens win the draw, back to the blue line. Dobson slides it over to Suzuki, who stays out there with 30 seconds left, but it's chopped off his stick and down the ice. Dobson has to chase after it. Dobson drops the puck. Here comes Demidov. Demidov over the right side, but the Canadiens are offside as they made the pass before the blue line, and that's not what the Canadiens normally do. Usually they cross the blue line, then they dish it off. So we'll have a neutral zone face-off coming up for the Canadiens. So stick with the unit out there, even though there's just a few seconds left. Gallagher, Kapanen, Suzuki, Demidov, Dobson. And it's going to be chopped in behind the net. Swayman will backhand that along the boards, and it'll come to the blue line. Suzuki can't keep it in, and he has to back up with only 10 seconds left in the power play. Kapanen will go to the bench. The defenseman jumps on, and the Canadiens will change things up. Dobson double clutches the puck in his own zone on the breakout. He'll give it over to Matheson. He'll fire that in on the outside of the boards. Canadiens in on the forecheck. Deneau right back out there behind the net for Gallagher. Gallagher plays it off the boards to the left point. That's Matheson. Matheson, D to D. Slides that over. There's a shot from Carrier that blocks, and it goes a little bit wide behind the net. They'll slide it over to Veleno with a shot. Deneau in front. It's in his feet, and he can't find it. And it's cleared by the Bruins out to center ice. Matheson at the red line takes it right back in. He'll chip and chase it himself. He's in on the forecheck. It'll go to the far side, and the Bruins will break out. Trying up the left wing, and it's going to be blocked off nicely by Alex Texier. Counterattack by Montreal. Texier winds up. His shot is blocked. He had a man driving the net. As Veleno was behind the net, he'll pick up that puck and bring it to the right point where Dobson pinches it on the right side, takes it back to the blue line, slides it over to Hudson, stepping up top of the circle, back over to Dobson. He fans on his shot. Kapanen almost got a good enough tip, but it'll go wide, and it's cleared down the ice. And Slafkovsky coming off the bench will play that puck. Bruins wanted too many men, aren't going to get it. Hudson in his own zone. Passes over to Slafkovsky. He'll take it at his own blue line and cut through the neutral zone. Trying to get it around the defender, but did not work. Back the other way, Pasternak. He's taken down, and then he's thrown down to the ice by Struble. As he loses that puck, and behind the net, it'll be Hudson sliding around the left wing boards, popping up free. And there's a long shot from distance. Casey Mittelstadt steered away by Fowler. Back to the blue line. Bruins tip. Another save by Fowler. As right in front of the net was Victor Arvidsson, who was a game-time decision, but was able to get into the lineup. Peake keeps it in. He'll take a shot from distance into the logo of Fowler. He'll make the save. No rebound. Now Mittelstadt and Struble. And Arvidsson struggling it. Struble has no problem holding on to both of them.
Got to watch out not to take a penalty after the whistle. I like the start there for Fowler. I'm sure feels pretty good about the fact that he got to face a couple shots from long range, feel it a little bit before having to face a high danger chance. Also, Sean, kind of disappointed with the way that first power play went for Montreal. Not a shot on goal. Best opportunity comes on that shot by Suzuki that he kind of puts off the side of the net. But good job by the Boston penalty killers, not allowing Montreal to get to the inside.
So face-off will come to the left of Jacob Fowler. Canadiens have a little meeting. Joe Veleno digging in against Sean Corrali. Veleno will win that back. Dobson whips it around the boards on the right side, waiting at the far blue line. It's going to be Gallagher. It looked like he almost put himself offside.
I thought that was offside.
But they let play go, and Boston comes back the other way. They'll get it in deep behind the net. Struble takes out his man, but the Bruins are going to be first onto the puck. And it's poked free. Here's Veleno over to Gallagher. Gallagher gets that red line, chops it over McAvoy, who's got the full cage on. Veleno in on the forecheck, gives him a pump. Veleno behind the net. Crisscrosses with Sammy Blais, and they both get taken out, and the Bruins are able to get it out to center ice. But Gallagher, with a good battle, pokes it right back in, will go for a change. Swayman will leave it for McAvoy. Both teams changing. McAvoy has time to break out on his own, right up the middle. His pass right to the logo to Pasternak. He passed it over to left wing. No one was there for the Bruins. And that'll give the Canadiens possession of the puck. Caulfield in his own zone, but his breakout pass did not work. And Pasternak gets it over to Elias Lindholm. There's a quick shot and a right pad save from Fowler. The rebound cleared out to center ice. Hampus Lindholm fires that in. Fowler can't stop it behind the net. He was going to come out, but then he stayed in. Matheson, breakout pass over to Suzuki. He'll flip it down the ice. Bouncing puck. Caulfield chasing after it. Can't reach it. As Peak will try and skate it away from trouble. Caulfield chases him down to the boards. Puck is loose for a second, but Peak makes a nice play on it. Up to Pasternak. Pasternak trying to get around Bolduc. Puck is dropped. Here comes Minton. Over to Geekie. High slot. And it goes right back to the blue line. Hampus Lindholm with a shot. Last block never made it through. Slavkovsky will pick up that loose puck and circle back at his own blue line and give it to his defenseman. Matheson resetting behind his own net. 6 minutes into the first period, still no score. Matheson misses his pass over to Demidov just outside his reach. He'll chase after it into the attacking zone with help of Slavkovsky and Kapanen. Back towards the blue line, but backing off that blue line is Struble. And here comes the Bruins with numbers. Kastlik trying to put it in front, and that pass is blocked off. And the puck goes up and out of play from outside the blue line, about 20 rows up. No score, first period. Canadiens Bruins on TSN 690.
Miss the good old days? Of course you do. Winnie's on Crescent has always been the place to cheer on Montreal's hockey team. Come enjoy pub fare before, during, and after the game. Who knows who you'll see? Winnie's Bar and Restaurant, 1459 Crescent, winniesbar.com.
You were good this year. You always returned your shopping cart. You kept that plant alive, and the group chat even met up in real life. You deserve to be on the nice list. And maybe switch up that 2021 phone. Because when your phone levels up, your connection will too.
Boxing Week offers are heating up at Bell. Switch to Canada's fastest 5G Plus network and get amazing offers on phones, plans, and more. Visit a Bell store or bell.ca/Boxing Week for details. Bell. Connection is everything.
Craving great food, big games, and an unbeatable atmosphere? Head to La Cage. Whether you're here for the wings or the wins, or to have a good time, one thing's for sure. At La Cage, everyone's a fan.
The legacy continues with a special rock celebration. Live. March 10th, Place Bell. Live with Big Wreck and special guest The Damn Truth. Tickets on sale now at eventcode.ca.
Trade tariffs, quotas, changing customs regulations. It's a lot, but you don't have to manage it alone. Delmar's customs brokerage experts help you stay compliant, reduce costs, and trade with confidence. Visit delmarcargo.com. Delmar, logistics made simple. Canadiens hockey is presented by Essor Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. Essor Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
Bruins are happy to have Charlie McAvoy back. He's got 4 points his last 3 games, but he missed almost three plus weeks with the facial injury, and he's still got the bubble on.
Yeah, it was scary when he took the shot off the face from Noah Dobson the last time the Canadiens and the Boston Bruins played against each other. McAvoy scoring in his first game. Strange seeing him in that full bubble, though. I know a lot of the players on the Boston Bruins have been chirping him, saying he looks and he acts like he's back at Boston University.
But yeah, he's a guy. He's a minute eater for the Bruins, and upwards of 24 minutes a night on that back end. Neutral zone faceoff. Bruins take the blue line. They'll put it behind the net. First on it is going to be Lane Hudson. Hudson looks up the ice. Bruins back off into the neutral zone, so Hudson will take that space and skate it all the way to the red line. Bank it off the boards to Philip Deneau. From the left wing into the slot. Backhand shot from Josh Anderson. Glove save from Swayman.
First shift for Josh Anderson after that fight earlier with Tanner Jeannot, and seeing a lot of Phil Deneau earlier, as I know Phil Deneau was talking about his time in Los Angeles this season, only 5 points on the year, and the fact that he felt he wasn't useful for that team anymore. He didn't feel like he had a purpose. He didn't feel that he was part of the team. Well, Martin St. Louis using him a lot here in the first 10 minutes of the first period. And he's going to be a big part of the Canadiens, Campbell. If LA didn't want him, Montreal surely does.
Clean face-off win for Deneau over to Hudson, stepping up. He's going to slide that over, but it's poke check back the other way. Watch out, Pasternak and Geekie. Pasternak driving the net. Geekie, backhand. Pasternak, saved by Fowler.
What a save by Fowler, going left to right to take the bottom of the net away.
And then another quick shot. As the Bruins taking advantage of an errant pass from Hudson, trying to slide it over to Carrier on the attack off the draw. Here comes Deneau up the right side. Here's Texier. He'll take a shot. That's off a leg and up and out of play. But Jacob Fowler looking strong with a big save on Pasternak. As I believe he got his blade on it off the pass from Geekie. Geekie opting for the pass instead of shooting.
I mean, Lane Hudson does a great job of getting back in the play, but still a 2-on-0 opportunity with Geekie and Pasternak coming in at full speed. Pasternak's the right-hand shot, right? So he's able to open up. Nice backhand pass by Geekie, but it's that left pad of Jacob Fowler that just takes the bottom of the net away.
And that actually was going for Pasternak's stick, but it was Hudson that got a piece of it. It's still an incredible save either way, because if it wasn't going to hit Hudson, it was going to hit Pasternak. As he was back-checking. Canadians in on the forecheck. Here's Caulfield on the right wing boards, putting behind the net for Suzuki. He's got it. He'll put it into an open corner, but Bolduc was on the other side, and a little miscommunication allowing the Bruins to flip it down the ice. That's Peak. It lands right in front of Matheson, trying to skate away from Middlestat. And he does skate away from trouble, play it off the boards, over to Cole Caulfield, but he can't get that puck in deep, and here come the Bruins, back the other way. Over to the left wing. Middlestat looks back to the blue line. Bruins try to get it in deep. Matheson blocks that off. Middlestat will steal it right back behind the net for Arvidsson, trying to backhand wraparound. That did not work. Caulfield back defensively, puts it to the open corner over to Matheson. He's got a forechecker waiting for Thompson to get a little help. Bolduc can't clear up at the right point, and the Canadians having trouble in their own zone right now. Broken stick by the Bruins, which allows the Montreal Canadiens to get out. Here's Bolduc. He's got Caulfield. Bolduc over to Caulfield. Double clutch, turn, fire, shot, save by Swayman. A bit of a rolling pass from Bolduc to Caulfield. And there's off from the boards. Quick shot from Caulfield. Swayman makes the save. A through the legs pass from Veleno. And now the players will get together after Swayman covers up.
Talk about the fact that Cole Caulfield didn't have any shots in Pittsburgh just a couple nights ago. Well, 2 shots on that last shift. Now he's trying to settle down the puck after the pass from Bolduc. Really allowed Swayman to look big and get into position, but Cole Caulfield is going to be shooting when he gets those opportunities in that spot. It's too bad he just couldn't get it off a little bit quicker as Swayman was able to get into position.
It seems like Bolduc passed off the shooting opportunity, though.
He did. It was definitely a chance to take a shot as well for Bolduc, but you know, much like when Slavkovsky is with those two guys, you see a great goal scorer like Caulfield, and the instinct is to want to get him the puck and defer because he's got such a great release.
Kapanen, Demidov, Slavkovsky out there. Face off to the left to Swayman. Still no score first period. Face off one of the boards, and we have another fight. Jack-Eye is going to drop him. And he's getting ready for the big man, Nikita Zadorov. And they go all the way to center ice over the big B logo. Jack-Eye and Zadorov. Zadorov with 2 rights to start things off. Second fight of the game for the Bruins and Habs. Jack-Eye trying to get his right. He'll take a shot from Zadorov, trying to regain his feet. Upper hands, uppercuts, overcuts from Zadorov. Jack-Eye loses his helmet, so does Zadorov. Give a little bit of a headlock. Now they reset. There's a shot from Jack-Eye. Now he goes with his left with a couple. And they'll tangle all the way down to the ice. 2 big bodies throwing big punches here in the first. Habs and Bruins.
Looked like Jack-Eye was in a little bit of trouble early in that fight, and Zadorov is just such a big guy, almost like Jack-Eye was overwhelmed, but the fight ended with Jack-Eye switching over to his left, and when he did that, that's when Zadorov was the one struggling a little bit. So Jack-Eye lands 2 lefts and then scores the takedown as well. We are halfway into the first period of this game. We've already had 2 scraps.
Zadorov listed at 6'7", 255. Jack-Eye, 6'4", 240. Couple beasts.
You see both benches, too, loving it with the intensity early in this game.
So they'll do it all over again, and you could tell that the invitation was laid by the Canadiens off that draw. Now face-off win, and we're going to have a penalty off the draw after Kapanen won it back to Hudson, and the Bruins are going to get their first power play of the game.
Number 20, Montreal, 2 minutes interference.
As Slafkovsky held his man up off the draw. And the Bruins go to the power play at 25.7. Good for 7th in the NHL. The Canadiens penalty kill presented by Popeyes, Quebec.
Yeah, sneaky play by Slafkovsky off the face-off, trying to buy a little bit of time when Hudson gets the puck, not allowing the defensive player to get out and take that time away. Sneaky, Campbell, but not sneaky enough because the referee picked up on it.
And guess who's out there on the penalty kill? Philip Deneau. No surprise. Elias Lindholm and Deneau on the draw. And it's going to be won by the Bruins. Back to the blue line. McAvoy slides it over. There's a big shot from the boards. As Geekie let her rip, and a glove saved by Fowler.
I mean, from distance and not the most threatening shot. I think the Canadiens will give that one up as McAvoy slides it over, but he's not even really close to the top of the circle. And sure, it's a 25-goal scorer, and when you can score at that kind of clip this early in the season, you want to put pucks on net, but Fowler will stop that one 10 times out of 10 with no traffic.
Deneau gets kicked out, so Anderson has to come in on the draw against Pavel Zacha, and it's won by the Canadiens. And behind the net, Matheson will take it, and he'll skid it out to his own blue line and slide the puck all the way down the ice. Swayman stops it behind his own net. 15 seconds gone in this power play. McAvoy starts the breakout. Gets to the Bruins logo, turns back, and gives that drop pass. Elias Lindholm crosses over the blue line, pulls up, and now we get it free over to McAvoy, over to Pasternak, but it clutches, kind of hops right over his stick, and then he'll lose it, and the Canadiens clear. Pasternak was wide open over on the right wing in a perfect position to shoot, and he looked up and the puck rolled off his stick.
Habs catch a bit of a break there because Pasternak from that spot with time and space isn't going to miss very often.
Zacha hands us off to Lindholm, and he'll fire that behind the net. Bruins in on the forecheck, good poke check, and puck retrieval from Matheson, and he fires it down the ice. 1 minute left in the first power play of the game for the Bruins. Still no score, first period. Valeno out there on the penalty kill, waiting in the neutral zone as the Bruins come up. Here's Arvidsson taking the blue line, trying a little give and go back to the blue line, loose puck, and the Canadiens retrieve it and fire it down. PK doing their job. Swayman leaves it for Hampus Lindholm. Middlestat takes the puck from behind his own net. Coming up the ice with Arvidsson, back over to Middlestat. Nifty little pass. Back towards the blue line, setting things up on the power play over on the right side. Middlestad's getting forced by Matheson. Bruins have to throw it in the corner. Carrier takes a hit to make a play on the puck, but the Canadiens can't clear. Lindholm slides it over from one point to the other, but it plays off the boards. He'll take it for the point. He'll put it high and wide. Puck goes behind the net. Fraser Minton into the open wing, back towards the blue line. Hampus Lindholm with a shot. That's blocked and out to center ice. And we're back to 5-on-5 with Slafkovsky coming out of the box. The Bruins, just like the Canadiens, 0 for 1 on the power play. Lane Hudson from the bench picks up the loose puck, breaking out of his own zone. Bruins waiting in the neutral zone. Dobson puts it off the right wing boards, trying to get it in deep. That's going to be cut up by Leroy. He turns it over to the slide, and there's a shot by Gallagher. Took a little too long, and the Bruins were able to get in position to block it off. But the Canadiens still with possession. Gallagher in the corner. He's got a man in front. Goes off the leg, back to the blue line. Hudson fakes his shot, pulls back to the blue line. Now he puts it towards goal. It's tipped it to the corner. Sammy Blades there. He scores from below the goal line from an impossible angle. And the Canadiens are up 1-0. How did that go in?
Some leaky defending by Boston. Couple turnovers, and they got lost in coverage. At first, it looked like Sammy Blais was going to try to center that one out to Brendan Gallagher, who was standing in front of the net. But somehow, some way, he finds a way to bank it off Jeremy Swayman and in. I think it hit the back of Swayman's head.
He was at least a foot below the goal line. And yeah, right off the ear shoulder of Swayman. And that's a veteran play, and his first with the Montreal Canadiens, Sammy Blais.
Of course, when he tells that one to his grandkids, it's going to be a breakaway beautiful move, bar down finish. Even though it was actually, in reality, a goal from behind the net that ends up banking off Swayman, but still a very crafty play by Sammy Blais, who knew what he was doing there.
Bruins with a shot right off the draw. There's Pasternak with a shot from the far boards, but Fowler able to go left to right. Geeky crosses the blue line, gets it back over to Pasternak, coming in on the attack, trying to drop that into the slot to Lindholm. Did not work, and the Canes are able to break out. Suzuki will backtrack to his own defenseman, and Lane Hudson. Over to Matheson. Slafkovsky crosses the blue line, pulls up. Demidov driving there, gets poke checked by Peak, and that's the backtrack back towards the blue line. Matheson, there's a hot shot. The puck is loose. Slafkovsky right in front, couldn't find it. He's out there. Demidov, Slafkovsky, and Suzuki. Matheson keeps it at the blue line, slides over to Demidov, and pitching over on the right side with Dobson. Demidov with the one-touch pass. That would have been pretty if it worked, but it didn't. It was cut off, and the Bruins clear. Down the ice, Matheson picks it up in his own zone. He'll turn it over. Watch out. Bruins stepping up. Saved by Fowler. As in on the left side, Alex Steeves steps up. And there's a tip in front. And the Bruins, Husnudinov, all alone on the back post, put it upstairs. Fowler lets it in. It's 1-1.
Yeah, that play really starts with Mike Matheson's turnover. Tries to make the backhand pass. On the breakout pass, it gets picked off, and now Montreal is kind of scrambling to get back into position. First chance ends up being stopped by Jacob Fowler, but then a nice play as they get the puck over to Hustadinov, and from that spot, he's not going to miss as the puck goes from left to right inside the Canadiens' zone. Fowler can only do so much on that one, and tough bang-bang play. Nice finish by Hustadinov.
Yeah, nice pass. Mason Lowry coming down the left side, pitching on the left point. Husnudinov was alone at that back post. Lowry will pick up the assist. And the Bruins, just a minute and 17 seconds after the Canadiens opened the scoring, have tied it up at 1. And now we have Steeves and Anderson jostling on the faceoff. Always a lot of hostility between the Canadiens and Bruins. And we have just that tonight, just a few days before Christmas. Sean Campbell, Mitch Gallo, glad you could join us. Now Anderson giving shots to Husnudinov. And the Bruins win the draw.
Goal scored by number 27, Sammy Blais, assisted by number 48, Lane Hudson, and number 53, Noah Dobson.
So they'll give an assist to Dobson as well, to Hudson on that Sammy Blais goal. And here comes Carrier. Carrier hits lead pass off the skates of Anderson. And McAvoy will start the breakout. Corrali over to the left side. Lowry crossing the blue line. Being chased down by Texier. Will dump that right in. Husnudinov puts it in front. Steeves with it. With a nifty little move, but never got the shot off. Lowry trying to spin. The puck is loose. Canadians are scrambling. Texier flips it out to center ice.
Nice defending by Texier, though, and sticking with it to end up flipping that puck into the neutral zone.
He'll flip it down. Anderson gives another shot to Lowry as he goes for a change. McAvoy, lead pass. Bruins get this in deep. Steeves at the end of his shift will go for a change. Veleno behind his own net will be first on it. Over to Carrier. Gallagher tries to chop into the neutral zone, but that's stolen away by the Bruins. Counterattack. Pavel Zacha crossing over the blue line. Veleno on top of him. Middlestad in on the forecheck. Canadiens can't clear again. High slot. Zacha, he'll put it over to the corner. Arvidsson back in front. Backhand shot. And it's loose in front. Fowler diving on top of it. Middlestad chasing after it. And we're going to have a penalty after this play. But the Bruins taking advantage of their zone. Now Gallagher and Arvidsson are having words, but Fowler standing strong in goal. We'll sort it all out when we come back. We're all tied up at 1. Habs and Bruins on TSN 690.
To keep it fresh, because Tim's coffee is brewed fresh every 20 minutes. Whether you're on the go or at your desk, it's always the perfect time for Canada's favorite coffee, made with 100% premium Arabica beans. It's time for fresh. It's time for Tim's.
Are you looking for an insurance broker, passionate and professional? With 65 years of experience, SO Insurance has proven to be totally dedicated to serving its clients. Present in 12 regions in Quebec, their brokers have one priority: to find you the best offer available to insure your home, car, and all other types of motorized vehicles. Call 833-370-2704 or visit SOR.ca to ask for a quote. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
There's nothing like hockey night in Montreal. See the Habs live at the Bell Centre and be part of the NHL's most electric atmosphere. Buy your tickets today.
Hey fans, this is Josh Anderson. Get your tickets now at Canadiens.com/tickets.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around in the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation. Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass or cup or whatever you pour your Molson in, because it doesn't matter what it's in, it matters where it's from. Canadian, export, ultra, excel, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
The home of your Montreal Canadiens, TSN 690.
The newly acquired defenseman Vladislav Kolyachonok was the defenseman pitching in on the play, going backhand and just missing the net, creating that big opportunity for the Bruins. Along the way, he picked up a slash from Brendan Gallagher, and Gallagher is in the box, and the Bruins will go back to the power play. They are 0 for 1. The Canadiens penalty kill presented by Popeyes Quebec. But Mitch, here in this 1-1 hockey game in the first period, Canadiens are pretty sloppy in their own zone.
No doubt about it, especially the last two shifts, as they are really getting away from their D-zone coverage. They did do a good job on the first penalty kill, though. Your best chances came from Morgan Geekie on the one-timer, and David Pastrnak couldn't get the puck settled. Maybe a bit of good fortune there, but still a successful first PK. We'll see if they're able to build on it on this one with the Gallagher penalty.
The Bruins win that draw. They'll bring it back to center point. Sakic slides it over to Geekie. Geekie put it in front, tipped ahead by Lindholm, saved by Fowler. Lindholm and Pastrnak chopping in on that puck. It was loose for a second, but Fowler covers up. He's been busy with 12 shots already in this hockey game.
They set deflection play out front. Better save by Jacob Fowler. And what I like here about Fowler is, again, with his composure and how calm he is in the crease, pucks tend to stick to him, and he's able to freeze that puck. You know, not leaky. And when you don't get a second opportunity on a play like that, it can just crush a power play.
And it's going to be won by the Canadiens, chopped down the ice by Matheson. And Swayman will leave that for Charlie McAvoy.
Bubble Boy.
Bubble Boy, drop pass. Over to Zaka through the neutral zone. Lindholm and Zaka go across the blue line. They'll bring it in. Geekie brings it back to the blue line. McAvoy. Pasternak's tapping his stick. He wants it, won't get it. It goes over to Geekie. Now Pastrnak gets it on the right side. Right-handed shot. He'll put it down by the goal line. Switching spots with Zaka. Now down to Pastrnak at the goal line. He'll take it behind the net. Circles to the other side. Puts it in front for Geekie. Big save by Fowler. As Pastrnak and Geekie clearly have chemistry this year. 25 goals for Geekie, 25 assists for Pastrnak. Pastrnak and blind pass, and that's cut off, and Veleno back the other way. Trying to take advantage of a tired McAvoy in on the forecheck, killing some time. Joe Veleno has 3 Bruins on top of him, and he's still first on the puck. Behind the net, and finally coming free with the puck is going to be Pastrnak, but great work by Joe Veleno. As he gets back in position, Geekie goes over to the left side to Middlestat. He'll slide that in the corner, waiting for his Lane Hudson on the penalty kill. He'll get it free as Dobson tries to go up the boards. That's going to be cut off. Veleno's still out there. Can't get it past the Bruin at the blue line. Sliding across, Hampus Lindholm over to Pastrnak. He'll take a shot. That's blocked. Good block by Oliver Kapanen on the PK. Down low, kept in by the Bruins. Middlestat puts in the bumper position. Geekie off the post. And it's going to be pushed down the ice, and the rebound came right to Veleno, and he'll clear it. Kapanen loses his stick, and here come the Bruins. Final seconds of their power play. Middlestat back to the blue line. Hampus Lindholm, he'll take a wrist shot. Hits a body. We're back to 5-5. Bruins are 0 for 2 on the power play. We're still tied up at 1. Just over 4 minutes left of the first period. There's Minton with a shot that goes off a leg and wide. Canadians lose a stick.
That's a broken stick. That's going to be a slashing penalty coming up here to Boston.
Yeah, as Matheson put his hands up as he was trying to play the puck, but he gets slashed. And it looks like Victor Arvidsson's going to the box. Canadians power play when we come back. It's all tied by 1 here in the first on TSN 690.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around in the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation. Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass or cup or whatever you pour your Molson in, because it doesn't matter what it's in. It matters where it's from. Canadian, export, ultra, excel, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
When you choose the STM to get to an event, you aren't just riding public transit. You're riding a wave of collective energy with fans just like you all the way to the big event. Heading to the Bell Center? No need to put your whole day on ice. With public transit, you won't have to worry about traffic or parking. A trip to Lucien Lallier or Bonaventure Station gets you right to the heart of the action. Now that's what we call putting it on the tape. With the STM, birds of a feather ride together.
This isn't just a game, it's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Be there at the Bell Center on April 17th and Place Bell on April 18th. Go to harlemglobetrotters.com for your tickets to the 100-year tour.
Craving great food, big games, and an unbeatable atmosphere? Head to La Cage. Whether you're here for the wings or the wins, or to have a good time, one thing's for sure. At La Cage, everyone's a fan.
Canadiens hockey is presented by SOR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
Canadians off to the power play with Arvidsson in the box slashing Mike Matheson. Power play presented by Ford of Canada, official partner of the Montreal Canadiens. And the Canadians 0 for 1 on the power play, but they needed some sort of momentum shifting moment because it had been all Bruins for the last 5-6 minutes.
No doubt about it, and that power play opportunity for Boston saw Morgan Geekie ring one off the crossbar. The Canadians get a bit fortunate there. Now we'll see if momentum can shift back to Montreal with a big power play here coming up.
Slavkovsky, Bolduc, Caulfield, Demidov, Suzuki in the corner, whips it over along the boards, but that's out of reach of Caulfield, and the Canadians give up the zone on their own. Hudson will pick it up in his own zone. Drop pass. Almost picked off, but it'll go to Suzuki. He'll drop it over to Slavkovsky. He'll take the blue line. Pass it off to Cole Caulfield on the left side near the blue line. Stepping down to the hash marks down low to Nick Suzuki below the goal line. Suzuki wants to give it to Caulfield. He does. He's got Hudson up top, but he'll try and look at the bumper position for Bolduc, but that's off his stick. Kastelik will shovel this out to center ice. Hudson quickly gets it over to the left wing boards. Caulfield fires that in along the boards. Chasing after it is Slavkovsky. He'll put it behind the net. Back to the blue line. Hudson. He'll look backdoor. Suzuki saved by Swayman. Suzuki didn't get all of it, and it bounces out to center ice. Slavkovsky circles around the Bees logo, crosses back at the blue line, takes it to the boards, trying to get it over to Caulfield, but that's going to be cleared by the Bruins. Hudson gets it up to Caulfield, and Suzuki will enter on the right side. Banks it back to the blue line where Caulfield's waiting. Center point now, Hudson. He's got Caulfield on the right, but it'll go left to Slavkovsky. Suzuki, sharp angle, trying to backhand that back in front towards Slavkovsky. Did not wear, cleared down the ice. And the Canadians have 40 seconds left on their second power play in this 1-1 game.
Couple times, really good stick by Sean Corrali as Montreal wants to get the puck into that bumper spot where Bolduc is standing, but unable to do so as it's just completely cut off.
Demidov and Kapanen come in the zone. Gallagher taps it back to the blue line. There's Suzuki, backhand pass towards the goal. Behind the net for Demidov. They'll circle back over to the right wing to the blue line. Dobson, Demidov, top of the circle, right side down by the goal line. Gallagher back towards Demidov over to Kapanen, and it's cleared down the ice. And we have another penalty coming up, and this one going to the Canadiens, as the Canadiens are officially 0 for 2 on the power play.
And 2 not great-looking power plays at that, and still have to wonder why Bolduc is out there on the first unit rather than Ivan Demidov. I simply don't understand.
And there's someone on the bench as Furman South is trying to beckon.
Montreal penalty, number 93, 2-minute minor, booking.
So Demidov is going to the box, and the Bruins are going to be going back to the power play. They're 0 for 2.
We hear Demidov getting his stick on the glove, and that's why you have a hooking penalty there.
Yeah,
and
that was Zadorov winning a stick battle, and
I understand what Demidov's trying to do there. He's trying to get underneath and get the stick lift on Zadorov, but as soon as you get in on the hands, you're going to get called on a penalty. Boston's a power play 0 for 2 so far tonight, but that last power play generated some pretty threatening chances.
Canadiens got a goal from Sammy Blaine, then it was Husnudinov for the Bruins. Bruins are 0 for 2 on the power play. The penalty kill by the Canadiens presented by Popeyes Quebec. Anderson in on the draw after Deneau gets kicked out again. And Anderson will win that into the corner. Bruins going to get their first stick on it. And Elias Lindholm had a chance, whipped around the glass, and McAvoy can't keep it in. He's got to watch out. Anderson was trying to pick his pocket in the neutral zone, but McAvoy's able to poke it free over to Zaka. Zaka takes the blue line over to Pasternak on the right side. Back to the blue line. McAvoy, he'll take a wrist shot. That's high and wide. Zaka provided the screen. Pops up in the air. Carrier looking for it. Working against Geekie. Back to the point. And McAvoy can't keep it in. He has to back up. It was a rolling puck on edge. Still is. And he finally settles it down back at his own blue line.
No, watch out for that play. Zaka and Pasternak have a lot of chemistry, and Zaka likes to go down low and hit Pasternak in stride as he's skating downhill towards the circle on the right side.
Great play by Josh Anderson, stopping that zone entry. He'll steal it and fire it right back down and go for a change. 65 seconds left in the power play. 67 seconds left in the period. 1-1 Boston-Montreal through the neutral zone. Zaka puts it in the slot, and then Veleno's able to block that off and fire it down. Swayman will leave it for Hampus Lindholm.
Well, Veleno game time decision in this one after getting hit pretty hard against Pittsburgh. He's looked really good on the penalty kill the last couple times out.
Bruins take the blue line. Pasternak, who drops it over Arvidsson, that is. Down the right side, he's got a man in front. Big right pad save by Fowler. As backdoor was Geekie once again. Nice pass by Victor Arvidsson. And the Bruins will get an offensive zone faceoff.
Now, Fowler's been busy in this first period. That's already 16 shots on goal and another really good opportunity for Boston on the power play.
It was Pasternak in front. And Pasternak from that close has scored many. So final minute here of the first period. 1-1 Bruins and Habs. It's been an eventful first period, a goal each. Pair of fights, including one 3 seconds into the game. Tanner Jeannot and Josh Anderson face off one by the Bruins. Hampus Lindholm trying to find a shooting lane. That's blocked, and Deneau is able to chop that out to center ice. Lindholm.
Good drop, good block by Carrier.
Drop pass in the neutral zone. Arvidsson will drop it again. Crossing over the blue line. Bruins trying to get possession. Gets it over. There's a quick shot by Steves, and he scores. Short side. Beats Fowler. The Bruins get the power play goal, and they have the lead 2-1.
I know people never like to see those short side goals, as it looked like Jacob Fowler had most of the net sealed off, but gets beat right over the shoulder. You know, you have to give credit to the shooter sometimes. That's a really nice shot by Steves to get it up just under the bar past Fowler to give the Boston Bruins a 2-1 lead.
Steves has been a guy that's just trying to make his way at the NHL, been healthy scratch, in and out of the lineup with the Bruins. I've seen him a ton in the AHL. He can shoot with time and space, and he was able to go upstairs short side on Fowler to give the Bruins a lead late here in the first period.
I mean, this first period has been all Boston, especially in the last 10 minutes or so, as they are heavily out shooting Montreal, and most of the play has been in the Montreal end.
So that's a power play goal, and that makes the Bruins 1 for 3 on the power play. And still seconds left. There's a shot from McAvoy, and Sammy Blais felt that. He is slow to get up as time expires on this first period. Just what the Canadiens need is another injury. Sammy Blais is up, under his own power, will make his way down the tunnel as the teams will go for a rest, but An eventful first period, Mitch.
An eventful first period, and we had 2 scraps. We had 3 power plays for Boston, 2 power plays for Montreal. Boston finally capitalized on their 3rd power play opportunity to grab a 2-1 lead here as we head into intermission.
Husnudinov and Steve for the Bruins. Sammy Blais for the Canadiens. Bruins outshot the Canadiens 16-8. Your first intermission round table. Joey Elias, Lucas Scott, and Mitch Gallo. It's all coming up next on TSN 690.
She's Got Game, a weekly show about women's sports with top athletes, coaches, and leaders. Hosted by Michaela Schreider and Vanessa Sanchez.
This week on She's Got Game, it's our best of show. We'll reshare some of our favorite interviews from the year, including Sandy Brondello, Desiree Scott, and Asia Hogan-Rochester.
She's Got Game, Saturday afternoon at 1 on TSN 690.
You were good this year. You always returned your shopping cart. You kept that plant alive, and the group chat even met up in real life. You deserve to be on the nice list. And maybe switch up that 2021 phone, because when your phone levels up, your connection will too.
Boxing Week offers are heating up at Bell. Switch to Canada's fastest 5G plus network and get amazing offers on phones, plans, and more. Visit a Bell store or bell.ca/Boxing Week for details. Bell. Connection is everything.
$1 wings, $1 wings, $1 wings. Boston Pizza has the ultimate lineup. During every Montreal game this season, our wings are only $1 each at Boston Pizza. Come in for some delicious wings, an ice-cold Molson, and a great game. Now that's a winning trio. Visit bostonpizza.com to find a Boston Pizza near you and reserve your table. Boston Pizza is the place to be. See details in restaurant.
The legacy continues with a special rock celebration live. March 10th, Place Bell. Live with Big Rack and special guest The Damn Truth. Tickets on sale now at eventcode.ca.
Abrysvo is an RSV vaccine. 60 or over? Talk to your healthcare provider about Pfizer's Abrysvo. Visit abrysvo.ca.
Craving great food, big games, and an unbeatable atmosphere? Head to La Cage. Whether you're here for the wings or the wins, or to have a good time, one thing's for sure. At La Cage, everyone's a fan.
50 or over? Talk to your healthcare provider about Prevnar 20, a pneumococcal pneumonia vaccine. Learn more at Prevnar20.ca.
You don't want to miss the next Molson and Montreal Canadiens viewing party on Saturday, January 17th at Les Trois Monkeys in Montreal. Come cheer on the Canadiens with fellow fans. Plenty of prizes, including game tickets, jerseys, alumni appearances, entertainment, and Molson specials. Join us at a Destination Canadiens bar near you for all Molson Zone viewing parties throughout the season. For full locations and dates, visit zonemolson.ca. Must be legal drinking age.
Canadiens Hockey is presented by SOR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
That'll give the Canadiens possession of the puck. Caulfield in zone, but his breakout pass did not work. And Pasternak gets it over to Elias Lindholm. There's a quick shot and a right pad save from Fowler. And the Canadiens having trouble in their own zone right now. Broken stick by the Bruins, which allows the Montreal Canadiens to get out. Here's Bolduc. He's got Caulfield. Bolduc over to Caulfield. Double clutch, turn, fire, shot, saved. And your first fight off the draw, it's going to be Josh Anderson and Tanner Jeannot. Once again, these teams going head-to-head at puck drop. Jeannot with the first couple, and here comes Anderson with 3 straight. Then he takes a shot from Jeannot. Offensive tilt, now switching back to the right hand is Jeannot, trying to shake himself free. Undercut from Anderson. Heavyweight tilt between these two to get this game going. Anderson coming over top. Underneath and over from Jeannot. Anderson still going. Both men will not budge. Finally, Anderson goes down from Tanner Jeannot. Goes off a leg, back to the blue line. Hudson Fakes his shot, pulls back to the blue line. Now he puts it towards goal. It's tipped it to the corner. Sammy Blade's there. He scores from below the goal line from an impossible angle. And the Canadiens are up 1-0. How did that go in? Kapanen, Demidov, Slavkovsky out there. Face off to the left to Swayman. Still no score first period. Face off one of the boards. And we have another fight. Jack-Eye is going to drop him. And he's getting ready for the big man, Nikita Zadorov. And they go all the way to center ice over the big B logo. Jack-Eye and Zadorov. Zadorov with 2 rights to start things off. Second fight of the game for the Bruins and Habs. Jack-Eye trying to get his right. He'll take a shot from Zadorov, trying to regain his feet. Upper hands, uppercuts, overcuts from Zadorov. Jack-Eye loses his helmet, so does Zadorov. Give a little bit of a headlock. Now they reset. There's a shot from Jack-Eye. Now he goes with his left with a couple. And they'll tangle all the way down to the ice. 2 big bodies throwing big punches here in the first. Habs and Bruins. Down the ice, Matheson picks it up in his own zone. He'll turn it over. Watch out. Bruins stepping up. Saved by Fowler. As in on the left side, Alex Steeves steps up. And there's a tip in front. And the Bruins, Husnudinov, all alone on the back post, put it upstairs. Fowler lets it in. It's 1-1. Arvidsson will drop it again. Crossing over the blue line. Bruins trying to get possession. Gets it over. There's a quick shot by Steeves, and he scores. Short side. Beats Fowler. The Bruins get the power play goal, and they have the lead 2-1.
It's still 2-1 because it's the intermission. That's right. Sammy Blais gets his second of the season with some help from Lane Hudson, Noah Dobson, and then the Bruins answered back twice, once with a power play goal. That was the one with just about 18 seconds left in the period. Alex Steeves from Pasternak, and now they are up 2-1. I have to say, though, that was a pretty entertaining period of hockey, Mitch Gallo. It started off with a heavyweight tilt, right? Anderson Janot right off the face-off. I thought that was the perfect way to start a classic game between Montreal and Boston.
That's the way we started the last game between Montreal and Boston, right? Last time it was Struble and Nikita Zadorov, and this time it's Josh Anderson and Tanner Jeannot. That was a great fight, too.
Oh.
Both guys exchanging punches, and you can see, first of all, the fans in Boston, they're awesome, and it got them on their feet, and camera pans to the bench, and you can see everybody tapping their sticks. It's like, let's go now. We got that out of the way. Sideshow's out of the way. Now let's play some hockey.
Yeah, and everybody, I thought it was 1987. The fights in Boston and the snow outside, it was great. The other thing, just very sloppy defense by Montreal is what I thought. What is your take on the Montreal defense so far tonight?
I mean, it's the ongoing battle for Montreal all season. Consistency, playing inside their own zone, and there was a couple shifts there where the Canadiens looked like chickens with their heads cut off, trying to figure out what they wanted to do in coverage, and Boston worked the puck around and took advantage of it. Look, you see the first goal. It's a bad turnover by Mike Matheson. He tries to make a backhand pass on the zone exit. It's kept in. Fowler makes the first save, and then when Boston keeps possession, now Montreal starts to be a little bit scrambly with, okay, who's supposed to cover who, and what happens when the puck goes low to high. Puck goes high, Canadiens lose their coverage. Nice pass made over to the right side. Husnudinov ends up capitalizing on that one. And that one was a prime example of where the Canadiens struggle most when they're not playing well with Martin St. Louis' system inside their own zone. The second one, it's a power play goal. I mean, you give Boston 3 power plays in the first period. Eventually, they're going to break through. This is a power play that clocks in around 25% effective. You're on pace for 9 penalties in the game. It's way too much. I would think that discipline is going to be something they talk about here in the intermission, because if they keep gifting Boston power play opportunities, they're going to get burnt.
I will say that, Fowler had very little chance on that Steeves goal. That was a hell of a shot. Picked the corner. But the other thing, too, is when it doesn't help when, Sammy Blais gets the goal, right? And that was obviously good forechecking by that line. Some shoddy defense by the Bruins on that led to the goal. And I thought, all right, this is where the Habs want to be, right? They had the fight. It started them off. Now they got the goal. They have the defense on the ropes. And then what? A minute, 17 seconds later, they tied the game. And I just kind of felt like that was, not that the wind was in the sails, but they kind of just didn't go after that.
Yeah, it's a good response by Boston, right? You answer back immediately after the Blais goal with a really good shift that leads to a goal for yourself, tying the game at 1. It could have been a great momentum builder for Montreal, but Boston squashed it right then and there. So we'll see if Montreal can gain it back here at some point, because that period started good for Montreal. The last 10 minutes of the period, not so much. And, Jacob Fowler, 17 shots that he had to face in that first period. He was very, very busy. Canadians are going to have to play much better in front of him in the next 2 periods.
Mitch, no, it's okay. Did you find that the Canadians at times in that first period were trying to get a little too cute with their movements, with their passing? I think of the Layden Hudson. He has a great chance to put the shot on net, and he tries to opt for a pass, and it leads to a 2-on-1. And that great Fowler save. I think of the Zachary Bolduc deferring with reason. I understand, to Cole Caulfield. Who knows what happens if those guys take shots on net, right?
Yeah,
instead of trying to make the extra play.
You're right, Luca, and it's been something we've spoken about pretty much all season with this team.
For sure.
They're always looking for the perfect shot, and sometimes you don't need a perfect shot in order to score a goal. And maybe you're best off simplifying things here in the second period to create a little more offense, because you saw it, right? 17 shots on the other side, only 8 for Montreal in that first period. You're on pace if you're Montreal for less than 25 shots. It's going to be hard to win.
Well, we're going to continue with the intermission. 2-1 Bruins over the Montreal Canadiens. Will be back with the out-of-town scoreboard.
Are you looking for a damage insurance broker that specializes in commercial insurance? There is only one name, SR Insurance. Present in 12 regions in Quebec, SR Insurance brokers are the perfect advisors for you. With more than 65 years experience, SR Insurance is proud of its team of brokers who stand out for their ability to select the best products for your business. Call 833-370-2704 or visit sr.ca to ask for a quote. You deserve the best broker there is. SR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
The first intermission is brought to you by Wegovy. Ask your doctor for Wegovy by name and visit wegovy.ca for savings. Some exclusions may apply.
Wherever Canadians raise a glass, you'll find Molson. There's a good reason for that. When you've been in Canada for over 230 years, you get around in the cups and fridges of Canadians, generation after generation. Molson has a beer for everyone. So raise a glass or cup or whatever you pour your Molson in, because it doesn't matter what it's in, it matters where it's from. Canadian, Export, Ultra, Excel, Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
You're listening to the home of sports in Montreal. TSN 690, CKGM, and iHeart Radio Station.
Here, we like to keep it fresh because Tim's coffee is brewed fresh every 20 minutes. Whether you're on the go or at your desk, it's always the perfect time for Canada's favorite coffee. Made with 100% premium Arabica beans. It's time for fresh. It's time for Tim's.
There's nothing like hockey night in Montreal. See the Habs live at the Bell Centre and be part of the NHL's most electric atmosphere. Buy your tickets today.
Hey fans, this is Josh Anderson. Get your tickets now at Canadiens.com/tickets.
From the first time on skates to wearing a special hockey jersey, Podium Mini Entrepot is here for you. Store your sports gear and seasonal items to create space for all of life's adventures. Try 4 weeks free at Podium.com. Proud partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
Canadiens hockey is presented by SR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
Go all the way back into 2018, the last time they won 7. Chance in front here for the Sabres is through the slot. Take it back the other way. An opportunity here to skate 2-on-1 towards the goal. Backhand scores. What a finish. Ridley Gregg.
There we have it. Bruins up 2-1 in the middle of the first intermission. Let's go to the out-of-town scoreboard. Stars in Detroit, they're tied at 1. Rupe Hintz got his 12th of the season on the power play. Rangers Capitals tied at 1 in the second period. They're just about 4 minutes into the second now. Sabres. What's happening to the Sabres, you say? Well, they're tied 1-1. They're looking for their 7th win of this in a row right now, and they're tied with the Sabres in the second 1-1 as well. Devils 1-0 lead on the Devils. Hurricanes just took a 2-0 lead. Literally just took a 2-0 lead on the Panthers. The Wild, they started probably right about now. Flyers and Blackhawks, that's a 9 o'clock start. And you have the Utah Mammoth in Colorado at 9. That's a pretty good game on paper. Battle of Alberta goes at 9 o'clock as well. Sharks, Golden Knights, and Kraken and Kings. That is at 10 o'clock. But, of course, the game that matters most, Bruins, Montreal Canadiens. The Bruins took a 2-1 lead on a late power play goal in the period by Alex Steeves. That was assisted by David Pasternak. You know what's coming up next? More hockey here on TSN 690.
You were good this year. You always returned your shopping cart. You kept that plant alive, and the group chat even met up in real life. You deserve to be on the nice list. And maybe switch up that 2021 phone. Because when your phone levels up, your connection will too.
Boxing Week offers are heating up at Bell. Switch to Canada's fastest 5G Plus network and get amazing offers on phones, plans, and more. Visit a Bell store or bell.ca/Boxing Week for details. Bell. Connection is everything.
Here, we like to keep it fresh because Tim's coffee is brewed fresh every 20 minutes. Whether you're on the go or at your desk, it's always the perfect time for Canada's favorite coffee. Made with 100% premium Arabica beans. It's time for fresh. It's time for Tim's.
Whether it's gas, electric, or hybrid, Ford vehicles are always powered by pride. And just like the great teams that inspire us, we always strive for the highest honors. Our lineup is strong, agile, and built to perform. We give it our all to help you and your crew achieve great feats, experience great thrills, and competently drive to the next great adventure. Your local Ford dealers, proud partners of the Montreal Canadiens. Ready, set, Ford.
There's nothing like hockey night in Montreal. See the Habs live at the Bell Center and be part of the NHL's most electric atmosphere. Buy your tickets today.
Hey fans, this is Josh Anderson. Get your tickets now at Canadiens.com/tickets.
Hi everyone, Julie Stewart-Binks here along with former NHLer Nate Thompson. Join us on Energy Line as we share our takes, stories, and surprise guests every week. Patrick Kane, 3-time Stanley Cup champion. Team USA head coach Mike Sullivan, 6-time Stanley Cup champion Mark Messier.
With over 800 NHL games, I know a couple guys.
Biz didn't have Twitter. No one knew who he was, so I called Whit, and I'm like, how is Biz? He was like, I'm telling you right now, you're going to hate him. Then he'll be your best friend.
Listen on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts,
or wherever you get your podcasts.
This is Montreal Canadiens hockey on your home of the Habs, TSN 690.
Habs Bruins, last game before the holiday break in the National Hockey League. Second period about to get going. Sean Campbell in for Victor Finlay. Mitch Gallo in for JP O'Connor. As the Canadiens looking to bounce back from maybe a lackluster first period, being outshot 17-8. Bruins 1 for 3 on the power play. The Canadiens with 2 power play opportunities, 0 for 2. There were 2 fights. Anderson dropped them with Jeannot. You had Jack-Eye and Zadorov go after each other. It's been a feisty affair, but Canadiens need a little bit of a jump in this game as we get ready for the second period.
Feisty as you would expect. Montreal and Boston, but not enough in the ways of offense for Montreal in that first period. You would think they want to use their speed in this second period and definitely test Swayman a little bit more than they did in the first.
Canadiens will start once again with the Danault line, Anderson and Texier. Just waiting for the green light to drop the puck, and we'll get going here in the second. And the difference is a late goal with 20 seconds left of the period from Alex Steeves on the power play. Kastelik and Danault drawing in on the face-off. And we are underway here in the second period. Long change in effect. Bruins dump it in. Fowler stays in his net. Jack-Eye will pick it up and pass it right to Danault in front, but that was in his skates. But Canadiens recover, and up the ice they come. Here's Danault on the left side. Chippy to chase him, but Hampus Lindholm will get there first. Over to the open side. Peak goes up the right side. And the Canadiens will recover in the neutral zone. Jack-Eye. D to D. Struble looking up the ice. He'll go for a skate. He was given the ice, and he'll take it, takes a shot, and that goes high and wide. Texier picks up the rebound along the boards, and then takes a hard hit. Anderson with a shot from the boards, and that just goes wide with DeNo in front. And the Bruins break out. Fraser Minton. Here comes the Bruins coming in. That was a nice pass as Minton was able to find it in front, and that's Tanner Jeannot going in alone on Fowler, but Fowler making the save. Nice play by Kastelik to get that over to Jeannot.
Noah Dobson has to do better on that one. Beat clean on that pass right between the legs. I know he put his head up to the ceiling saying kind of like, oh, that was my bad. Also on that last shift, I mean, Texier takes a real hard hit along the boards from Fraser Minton, and trainers were checking on Texier at the bench of the Montreal Canadiens, so something to keep an eye out the rest of the second period.
Face off to the left. Fowler won by the Canadiens, whipped around the boards, but the Bruins blocked that off. Canadiens' second attempt. They'll put it to an open wing, but no one's there but Victor Arvidsson, and he kind of stick handles and loses the puck. Suzuki in the corner. He'll chase after it over to Bolduc. He'll just chop it out to center ice. Chasing after it is Cole Caulfield. First on it is Middlestat. McAvoy, his pass is in the skates, so the Canadiens have an opportunity to retake the puck. But Bolduc almost loses that as a forecheck is in on from Casey Middlestat. So once again, the Canadiens struggling with their breakout passes. Finally to the open wing on the left side to Suzuki. He can't dump it in because there was a delayed offside. He'll pass this off. Matheson has no option just to dump it in. Now chasing after is Bolduc. Caulfield chases after a puck. He'll miss it. Pitching in on the left side is Hudson. He battles with Middlestat. Dug out by the Bruins, and Zadorov will lead pass out to the right side. Didn't work, so Zaka leaves in the middle. And watch out. Breakaway coming in alone. Demidov, forehand scores! Bruins sloppy in the neutral zone. Demidov picks it up near the red line and darts right in all alone. Ties his game at 2.
What a nice move by Demidov to finish that playoff. Now, you're right. Very careless with the puck inside their own zone as Pasternak was expecting the pass and never got to him. Demidov tracks the loose puck. Terrible turnover by Boston. I believe it was Geeky one-handing the pass over to Pasternak. And then Demidov comes in and with time and space makes that great move to the forehand. Swayman completely deked out, and Demidov on the finish makes it look very easy. 2-2 right now, Montreal and Boston.
That'll be an unassisted goal, and the burst of speed, Demidov, Zadorov, and Pasternak standing still in the neutral zone had no chance to catch up with him. And we're tied up at 2, so a great way to start. 2 minutes here into the second period. We're all tied up at 2. By the way, Alex Texier did go down the locker room after taking that hit from Fraser Minton. Here comes Carrier. Put it towards the goal, and Swayman makes a save. Slavkovsky looking for a rebound, but it's covered up. So 9th of the season for Demidov at 1:58 here of the second. Unassisted. The Canadiens are right back. They're looking for a spark. Right back into it.
Right back into it. Beautiful goal by Demidov. We'll see what happens now with the Montreal Canadiens bench and what they decide to do if Texier misses any extended amount of time in this hockey game. You already had Cole Caulfield and Brendan Gallagher missing the skate this morning, and we know that there's a virus going through the Montreal Canadiens locker room right now. I would expect Martin St. Louis to want to really distribute all the ice time evenly with some of the players maybe not feeling at 100%.
All right, well, the ones that are healthy might play a little bit more because they do have a bit of a break. They'll be able to recover around the holidays as they're not back until the 28th. NHL resumes on the 27th. Canadiens put it in deep, but now the Bruins fire it down the ice. This should be icing, and it will be. Hudson will outrace Pasternak. But things have changed here in the second period. We'll see how long Texier's in the locker room for. He was walking under his own power, but he took that hit and he was slow to get up.
Now, I know we're only in the second period, but after that breakaway goal scored by Demidov, if the Canadiens go to another shootout, they got to use Demidov at some point here. Texier's not back maybe. Suzuki 0 for his last 15. Look at that finish by Demidov. Get that guy out there in the shootout. Come on.
A shot for the blue line off the draw as Carrier slides it over to Hudson. Shoulder save for Swayman. He was looking for some screen. He was way up high on the blue line in the corner. No rebound. But yeah, Demidov in the shootout, I think, might be another option for the Canadiens very soon. He is 0 for 2 on the season in the shootout. But put his hands on display for that game-tying goal. Danault in on the draw against Sean Corrali. Scramble draw back to the blue line. Carrier, he'll take a little wrister. That hits a body. That's Anderson. He'll drop down to his skates. And now his stick. And there's a shot. Danault looking for the tip. And Swayman right in front. Now taking some shots from Corrali. And now Corrali and Danault going after it. Linesman jumping in right away. But good screen from Danault with Anderson taking that shot. Not really from a dangerous position, but just causing a little havoc for Swayman.
Definitely not Danault's first taste of this Boston-Montreal rivalry. Clearly really eager to get right back in it. Corrali with the 2 shots, and Danault was kind of like, okay, enough. The first one, whatever.
I think Danault was trying to take a couple shots to possibly get his team a power play, but Corrali was playing that line beautifully.
Oh, he did a good job. It's like he knew.
So another offensive zone faceoff. Good start to the Spirit for the Canadiens. They were outshot 17-8. And they already have 4 shots here 3 minutes into the game. So now it's 18-12. Face-off win by the Bruins. McAvoy will pick it up behind his own net. Now he'll skate it free. Habs top line out there. And bouncing puck. And it won't be offside. Picked up by Bolduc. And his drop pass caroms after a pair of skates. But back the other way for the Canadiens. Bolduc, he'll put it in deep. Caulfield behind the net. Chases after it. Can't reach it. And McAvoy able to break this up to Middlestat. Middlestat gets to the red line. And he'll backhand that in. Dobson over to the open side. Matheson to Caulfield. Caulfield through the neutral zone. Drop pass. And there's a one-touch pass coming for Bolduc. Looking for Suzuki on the other side. Didn't work. So it goes behind the net. And Middlestat just clears this down the ice. Matheson misses it. Watch out. Chance. Victor Arvidsson coming in. Fakes the slap shot. And then a save by Fowler. But Matheson went down to one knee in the neutral zone to stop a bouncing puck. It still got by him. I think he's lucky with Arvidsson, who is not the fleetest of foot. And Matheson was able to kind of slow things up and try and force him on a bad angle.
Yeah, you're right. Arvidsson, not the quickest player. Very crafty, good offensive player. But doesn't have that tremendous speed. Tries to fake slap shot and then have Fowler bite. Fowler stays in position. Tough spot for Matheson to be put in. Bouncing puck, kind of 50-50. He knows what he's doing. He tries to get down to make sure it doesn't jump over his stick. Unfortunately for him, it gets between his legs as well.
So face off to the left of Fowler. But yeah, that's Fowler just reading the play and not biting for that fake. And here comes the Canadiens back on the counterattack. And here comes Danault driving the net on the backhand shot. Rebound sitting there. Gallagher can't reach it. He'll bring it back to the blue line. Nice play by Danault. There's a shot for the point. Hits the post. Carrier from the left point just throwing on the net. Looks like it bounced once before it hit that post. Now back the teams come. Cut off by Carrier. His pass is off the mark to Gallagher. And Anderson's in on the forecheck. Bruins trying the long stretch pass. And that's going to be missed. And that's an icing. But the Canadiens hitting the post here in the second.
Canadiens hitting the post. Carrier with the point shot. Kind of had eyes. Didn't go all the way to the back of the net. Also nice backhand opportunity for Phil Danault from the slot. And good forecheck there by Josh Anderson, who ends up forcing Boston into making a quicker decision maybe than they wanted to and ice the puck, getting the Canadiens an offensive zone faceoff.
Yeah, that was a little one-hopper from the blue line. And Josh Anderson has taken another penalty.
I guess he did something wrong on that forecheck, actually.
He was having words with Mason Lowry. And the Canadiens are right back to the penalty kill, brought to you by Popeyes Quebec.
I really don't know what that penalty was for.
Matheson's trying to get an explanation from Brandon Blandina. Seemed to be behind the play. We'll get official word on what that penalty is, but Josh Anderson is in the box. And the Canadiens, it's going to be a slashing penalty against Anderson. Back to the penalty kill, and the Bruins are 1 for 3 on the power play. The latest goal they scored, Alex Steves. Cleared out to center ice. McAvoy will pick it up. He'll do the drop pass. Pasternak puts it off the boards. Canadiens stepping up, and it goes up and into the Bruins bench. But coming from inside the line, so it'll be a face-off to the left of Fowler.
See who they use on the power play here. We know Josh Anderson, he's in the box, but he plays a lot of big PK minutes for Montreal. Valeno's done a pretty good job tonight, capping it out there right now as well. And for the most part, Montreal's been pretty good on the penalty kill, with the exception of the Steve shot that ends up beating Jacob Fowler in the first period.
Suzuki jumps over the boards with Deneau, so that's going to be the pairing. Deneau had been starting the game on the penalty kill with Anderson. Face-off win. Back to the point for the Bruins. Geekie fakes the shot as he goes back and forth. Center point. McAvoy. Pasternak over on the right side. He'll put it down low to Zaka, stepping up, trying to take it to the net. That's off a stick and out of play. 30 seconds gone in the power play. Another face-off. Next to Fowler. Matheson and Fowler having a discussion just before this face-off. To his left. Deneau digging in against Elias Lindholm. Lindholm wins that straight back to McAvoy. Rolling puck. Takes it to center point. Now to the left side. Slides it down low to the boards. Over to Geekie. McAvoy stepping up. Geekie at the face-off dot. Left side, right-handed shot. Back to the blue line on the backhand of McAvoy. Deneau tried to stop that, but he gets it over to Geekie, and there's Lindholm. Looking backdoor for Pasternak. Too hot of a pass. Goes off the boards, kept in by McAvoy. McAvoy, center point. Stopping, holding, gets it over. Pasternak turns, fires. That's off a stick of Suzuki and out of play.
It looked like Fowler was caught with a high stick there. Not too happy about it. A bit shaken up and asking the referee for an explanation as to why there was no penalty.
Having that conversation with Brandon Blandina. And that's right after Pasternak's
stick that gets him, yeah. And that's a penalty. It's a penalty. It catches him right in the neck/mask. Got to protect the goalies.
Face-off win by the Canadiens. Matheson off the glass and down the ice. Swayman will play that. In on the forecheck is Veleno. Here comes Lowry taking the blue line. Veleno from behind. Trying to get a poke check over on Arvidsson, who backs up to the blue line. He'll put it over to the right wing. That's off the legs of Lowry. Back over to Arvidsson. He slides a hard pass down low below the goal line over to Middlestat. He tried to pass in front, did not. It was blocked off. Kept in at the blue line by Steves. This unit scored the power play goal. Lowry down low. Working the puck. Back to the blue line. Steves stepping up. He'll take a shot. Good block. Going down was Dobson. Another shot for the point is deflected wide. Dobson right back up, trying to dig that puck out with Veleno. It'll pop free for Steves. He'll put it over to the open side. Middlestat back across. Looking for Fraser Minton, but that never made it through. There's a shot for the point from Lowry. Saved by Fowler. And the Canadiens clear it down the ice. And with 2 seconds left, the Bruins are now 1 for 4 on the power play. We're back to 5-on-5. 2-2 here in the second period. Under 14 to go.
3 really good plays on that PK by Noah Dobson, including the block shot.
Happens Lindholm, crosses the red line. He'll put it to the far side. Waiting for it is Hudson. He'll try and chop it up the boards. That's blocked off, so he goes behind the net to Carrier. Carrier up the boards to Bolduc. Bolduc slides it back to Hudson, who's got space in front of him. He'll take it through the neutral zone. Pulls up. Now he goes to the far side. Here's Cole Caulfield stepping in with a shot. That's off the glove of Swayman. He couldn't hang on to it with Bolduc crashing in front of the net. Here comes Tanner Jeannot. Counterattack by the Bruins to the open side, and that did not work as they had to slow up for that pass. As jumping up at the play with Peak. Hard hit on the forecheck, keeping the play alive for the Bruins. Bolduc leaves that for Carrier. Carrier from the right side over the left side to Cole Caulfield. Cross the other blue line. He'll pull up, put it into an open corner. Suzuki and Caulfield go for a change as Bolduc tries to win that puck, but he'll go to the bench, and the Bruins have tons of time to break out. No pressure on Zadorov, who stops behind his net. Now he'll step out. Nikita Zadorov, right up the middle. Tipped ahead by the Bruins along the boards. Left point, Zadorov, right point, McAvoy. He takes a shot, a little bit of a floater, knuckler. But Fowler makes a save, and he covers up. 12:21 left in the second. We're tied up at 2. Canadiens and Bruins on TSN 690.
Here we like to keep it fresh. Because Tim's coffee is brewed fresh every 20 minutes. Whether you're on the go or at your desk, it's always the perfect time for Canada's favorite coffee. Made with 100% premium Arabica beans. It's time for fresh. It's time for Tim's.
For over 10 years, Novo has teamed up with thousands of employers to establish high-performance OHS game plans. We excel in our field by providing top-level, comprehensive, and integrated occupational health, safety, well-being, and human resources services. Being part of your success is our greatest motivation and pushes us to innovate every day. Together, we are creating healthy, dedicated, and safe workplaces. Novo is a proud partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
You were good this year. You always returned your shopping cart. You kept that plant alive, and the group chat even met up in real life. You deserve to be on the nice list. And maybe switch up that 2021 phone. Because when your phone levels up, your connection will too.
Boxing Week offers are heating up at Bell. Switch to Canada's fastest 5G Plus network and get amazing offers on phones, plans, and more. Visit a Bell store or bell.ca/Boxing Week for details. Bell. Connection is everything.
Abrysvo is an RSV vaccine. 60 or over? Talk to your healthcare provider about Pfizer's Abrysvo. Visit abrysvo.ca.
The home of your Montreal Canadiens, TSN 690.
2-2 second period. Habs and Bruins. Sean Campbell, Mitch Gallo. Happy holidays to everybody. I know in Montreal, a lot of people enjoying the festive spirit of the weather.
It's nice. It's nice to have a little snow on Christmas, is it not?
And people are enjoying the feisty spirit in Boston between the Habs and Bruins.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
Already 2 fights in this game.
We're going to get a hat trick of fights, are we not?
I believe it was a bold prediction earlier today on the Podium Mini Entrepot Habs pregame show from Lucas Scott.
That's right. You know, Jaden Struble maybe, the next one to drop the gloves.
We'll see how this game goes. Here comes Demidov, who's got the latest goal for the Canadiens. He dumps it in. Cap it in, quick on the puck. He's got it back to the blue line, but it goes right between both defensemen, Struble and Jackeye, and Jackeye has to lug back into his own zone below the goal line. He'll take a bump from Steves as he slides it over to Struble, and nice play by Slafkovsky. And here comes Demidov and cap it in. Demidov got held up a little bit. Habs wanted to call, not going to get it. Good forecheck. Now comes over to Slafkovsky, back to the blue line. Struble over Jackeye. One-timer glove save by Swayman. Kapanen was screening, but he couldn't get over with the timing of the pass to provide the screen in front of Swayman. He was still on the other side of the net.
You know, 2 weeks ago, I think Jackeye passes up that shot, and he stops the puck and maybe tries to make a play. I like the simplicity of just, grip it and rip it. Especially right now in the second period, tie game. You haven't fired too many shots at Jeremy Swayman. Test him out a little bit. You got a bit of traffic from Kapanen in front, as you mentioned. I like the fact that Jackeye didn't hesitate and put that one on.
Offensive zone face-off for the Canadiens. Poleno out there. It's going to be won by Fraser Minton. Low Rye puts it along the boards. Out to center ice. Kaslik, it's worked over right in front of the penalty box. Now 3 Canadians working that puck. Sammy Blais, he's got a goal in this game. Falls down, but makes a play back to Struble. Now Veleno gets that red line. He'll chip it in. Swayman comes out of his net. He'll leave it for his defenseman. Low Ride's in a little bit of trouble. Gallagher in on the forecheck. Trying to steal that puck. Canadians now in possession. Veleno behind the net for Gallagher. Gallagher's got Blais in front. And then he'll lose the puck along the boards. Gives a shot to Tanner Jeannot and get it right back. Sammy Blais in the corner. Back over to the right point. Canadians keeping that alive. That's Jackeye behind the net. There's Sammy Blais looking for Veleno. The pass is in his skates. A Bruin is down behind the play as the Bruins come up the ice. And here's their defenseman, Vladislav Kolyana-Chanuk, coming up, and he takes a good shot and a good save by Fowler, dumped in by the Canadians. Tanner Jeannot in his own zone, back over to Hampus Lindholm. And Victor Arvidsson in a little bit of trouble, backtracks with the puck. Lindholm gets another opportunity up the middle of the ice off the skates of Zaka. First on the puck is Slafkovsky in the slot, taking a shot. That's blocked. Rebound in front, and Deneau couldn't find it. And now bouncing puck for Deneau. Can't reach it, and he's slowly moving, but he'll get back into position. Up the ice, Casey Middlestat through the neutral zone. Trying to dump that in. That goes off a skate. And right to Hudson, who will leave it for Slafkovsky. Slafkovsky plays it off the boards. Gets it up to Anderson. Anderson and Deneau and Slafkovsky out there together. Slafkovsky had it at the blue line, but he brings it back to the neutral zone for Carrier, who dumps that right in. A couple players change for Montreal. Pace is quickened. We're halfway through this hockey game. 2-2 in the second. Carrier puts it behind the goal line. Suzuki's line is out there. Caulfield, Suzuki trying to dig that puck along the boards. Caulfield looking for his first goal in the last 6 games. He's out there with Bolduc. He'll work the puck back to the blue line. Carey has to deal with a bouncing puck. He'll slide over his partner. Now there's a pass in front. And Caulfield couldn't find that on the blade of his stick behind the net. Suzuki trying to get it back to the blue line, but that's cut off. Victor Arvidsson, he'll slide this down the ice. Bruins are able to change, and Matheson will pick it up behind the net. Matheson gets the red line. He'll dump it in. Doesn't get it all the way in. The Bruins trying to counterattack. Lead pass towards Pasternak is cut off. Demidov gets off the bench but spins off the puck. And here come the Bruins. Pasternak driving towards the net. Bouncing puck. Demidov steals it. And up the ice he comes. He's with Slafkovsky. Demidov makes a move at the blue line. Pulls, curls, drags, shot. That's blocked. Now here's the trailer. Matheson puts it over the net. Dobson behind the net for Matheson. Backhand pass looking in front for Kapanen. Didn't work. Not cleared. Slafkovsky keeps it at the blue line. Demidov, Slafkovsky into the corner. Circling around. Canadians are buzzing. Back to the blue line. Matheson steps up. There's a shot. And that's tipped into the corner. Into the open side. And Elias Lindholm wants to slow things up. He tried to break it down, and he'll leave it over to McAvoy. And finally out for the Bruins. Gallagher will pick it up in his own zone and slide over to Noah Dobson. Back over to Gallagher on the right wing as the Bruins change. He'll take the blue line. Here's Gallagher trying to take a shot through the legs of Zadorov. Goes off his leg and behind the net. Deneau back to the point. Shot tipped by Gallagher, but he got too much of the puck and it rolls right in front of Swayman. 8:13 left of the second. We're still tied at 2 on TSN 690.
Are you looking for an insurance broker, passionate and professional? With 65 years of experience, SO Insurance has proven to be totally dedicated to serving its clients. Present in 12 regions in Quebec, their brokers have one priority: to find you the best offer available to insure your home, car, and all other types of motorized vehicles. Call 833-370-2704 or visit SOR.ca to ask for a quote. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
For over 10 years, Novo has teamed up with thousands of employers to establish high-performance OHS game plans. We excel in our field by providing top-level, comprehensive, and integrated occupational health, safety, well-being, and human resources services. Being part of your success is our greatest motivation and pushes us to innovate every day. Together, we are creating healthy, dedicated, and safe workplaces. Novo is a proud partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
This isn't just a game, it's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Be there at the Bell Center on April 17th and Place Bell on April 18th. Go to harlemglobetrotters.com for your tickets to the 100-year tour.
Craving great food, big games, and an unbeatable atmosphere? Head to La Cage. Whether you're here for the wings or the wins, or to have a good time, one thing's for sure. At La Cage, everyone's a fan.
Canadiens hockey is presented by SOR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
2-2 second period. Canadians and Bruins. Glad you could join us. Sean Campbell, Mitch Gallo. And a game like this, you want to rely on your fourth line, don't you, Mitch?
You know, I really like the way Veleno, Blais, and Gallagher are playing. They got a goal in the first period, but it's the simplicity. Get pucks below the goal line. They've been playing a lot behind the net. They've been deep in the Boston zone. And it's almost like the line the Canadiens had back when they went to the Stanley Cup final with Armia, Stahl, and Perry. It's about just controlling the puck inside the other team's zone and killing minutes from the other team.
Bruins able to clear it out to center ice, but this fourth line, like you just said, right back in. Here comes Sammy Blais. Got Veleno in front, circles around, brings it back to the blue line. Jack Eye, left point. Struble trying to find a shooting lane. He makes it through, saved by Swayman. High tip attempt by Gallagher. Out to center ice. Jackeye gets it over to Gallagher. He'll cross the blue line, driving towards the net. Pulls up at the hash marks. Back to Struble. Jackeye. One-timer shot. And he hits his own man, Blais, in front, who's providing the screen. There's a quick run from Gallagher, and that's blocked off. And just like you said, this line providing another positive shift for the Canadiens. Bruins break out. Long pass is missed, and that is icing. And the Canadiens will be able to put an offensive line against a tired group right now because of the fourth line.
Fourth line doing a great job. Offensive zone time. He had the point shot from Jackeye that doesn't get through. He had another point shot that was deflected right in front of the net. And right after and you also have a big hit by Jackeye right at the blue line, which eventually leads to the Boston Bruins icing the puck and Montreal having an offensive zone face-off with a tired group out there.
So the Canadiens with a chance, they'll put out Suzuki's line. Face off to the left of Swayman. One into the corner as Caulfield chases after. Low Rye over to the open side. He'll put it off the boards, but Carrier will keep that alive. Into the corner for Suzuki. Suzuki using his body to protect the puck. Puts it behind for Caulfield. Looking in front for Bolduc. Couldn't make it through. That's going to be blocked off as Fraser Minton goes up along the board. Suzuki first on it. Open wing. Chasing after it is Cole Caulfield. Off the boards. Nice stick by Bolduc. And he'll try and pass it across Suzuki, but that's cut off. Fraser Minton now back in on the left side, trying to kill some time as the Bruins change. Fowler comes out of his net, can't stop the puck. Kusnudinov looking for that puck, and it's going to be stolen away by the Canadiens. Hudson with Carrier. He'll backhand that out to center ice. Bolduc cuts back against the grain, now trying to find Suzuki. He almost chipped it to himself. Did not work. He slams his stick along the boards as frustration looming in for Suzuki. Up the ice, Sean Corrali for the Bruins crossing the blue line. Kusnudinov, he's got a goal. One hand on his stick, behind the net. Back to the blue line. Hampus Lindholm. Back over to Kusnudinov. He'll pass that off to Steves. That'll be stolen away by Slafkovsky. And Slafkovsky knocks it off the boards and out to center ice. Chopping at it is Kapanen. Now Demidov. He's got a man in front. He can find the puck. Demidov slides it over as that's Hudson who was going in front, but he went to the far boards. He'll get that pass. Kapanen will pick it up. Right point. Dobson. Play behind. There's Hudson is getting worked over by Kaslik. Ref is just letting that happen. It's cleared down the ice.
Yep, nothing to see here, I guess.
This is a rivalry, and the late penalty coming up. Bruins go into the box.
Guess they are calling something.
There was a late slash as one of the players was going to the bench.
Boston fans don't like it.
Dobson had the puck, and as the Bruins were changing, he was talking to the referee and showing him something on his hand while he had the puck up the ice. Here come the Canadiens. Suzuki back to the blue line. 6-on-5 with the empty net, and finally the Bruins touch. I haven't really seen that before. He pulled his glove off, and it's going to be, and I think he pulled it to his face for the high stick and said, "I'm bleeding." So he told the referee already it's going to be a 4-minute minor.
The play was still going on, though.
Power play for the Canadiens. When we come back, we're tied at 2 here in the second.
Whether it's gas, electric, or hybrid, Ford vehicles are always powered by pride. And just like the great teams that inspire us, we always strive for the highest honors. Our lineup is strong, agile, and built to perform. We give it our all to help you and your crew achieve great feats, experience great thrills, and confidently drive to the next great adventure. Your local Ford dealers, proud partners of the Montreal Canadiens. Ready, set, Ford.
Team IGA, it's a big game for the Habs tonight, and as the official grocer of the Montreal Canadiens, we've got a lot on our plate. But we also have chips, peanuts, frozen pizzas, chicken wings, mild, spicy, and barbecue, and let's not forget the fresh veggies. So what time is it?
It's crunch time!
And what are we cooking?
We're cooking up the win!
And who are we?
IGA, the official grocer of the Montreal Canadiens. Go Habs, go! Go Habs, go!
This isn't just a game, it's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Be there at the Bell Center on April 17th and Plus Bell on April 18th. Go to harlemglobetrotters.com for your tickets to the 100-year tour.
Craving great food, big games, and an unbeatable atmosphere? Head to La Cage. Whether you're here for the wings or the wins, or to have a good time, one thing's for sure. At La Cage, everyone's a fan.
Canadiens hockey is presented by SOR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
So Noah Dobson shows the referee he's bleeding while the play is continuing. Steve's with an erratic stick, high sticks Dobson. That's after Kaslik was just working over Hudson.
You can see. I'm not an expert when it comes to reading lips. Well, he kept saying it's 4 minutes. It's 4 minutes, and he shows him blood while the play's going on. I've never seen that.
So, a 4-minute
First
power
for
play.
everything.
4-minute power play for the Canadiens. Steve's in the box. Canadiens are 0 for 2 on the power play. Power play presented by Ford of Canada, official partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Late stage of the second period. We're tied up at 2. And great opportunity for the Canadiens on the power play here.
See what they do with this first power play unit, right? Ineffective in the first period. Tie hockey game 2-2 right now, but you have 4 minutes of power play time here. And I hope we see Demidov out there on the top unit because not much was happening with that Bolduc in the bumper spot.
We'll see what they want to do. And Bolduc is still out there with that first unit.
See if it pays off for them. And Demidov is going to get time here since it's a 4 minute, but still, I like their chances to score a lot more with Demidov than Bolduc.
Slavkovsky's forced out to the neutral zone. He was playing a little too tight on the blue line after the Canes won the draw. So Hudson back in his own zone. No worse for wear after being worked over by Kastelik. And here comes Slavkovsky. Pulls up at the blue line. He's got to watch out. No offside. Now he crosses over and trying to make space for himself. And it's another offside as Slavkovsky just playing too tight to that blue line. Bruins right in his face. And the puck came out of the zone and he put it right back in.
Martin St. Louis on the bench calling somebody over.
It was very close, but Slavkovsky just maybe playing with it a little too much.
I don't know if it came out. I think Martin St. Louis was asking the linesman why he whistled the play dead.
So it'll be a neutral zone face-off. Suzuki leaves that back at the blue line for Hudson. He'll fire that in. Canadiens have to chase after it. Swayman stays in his net. And it'll come free back to the blue line. Bouncing puck. Can Hudson keep it alive? He chops it towards Slavkovsky. And here's Suzuki down low. Bolduc over to Slavkovsky. Now they'll set things up center point. Hudson. Caulfield's over on the left wing boards. Right-handed shot by the hash marks. He'll switch spots with Suzuki. Suzuki down low to Caulfield. Trying to go back to her. Over to Slavkovsky. Second effort. The pass was blocked by Hampus Lindholm, but Slavkovsky's still able to get a stick on it, but then he put it up and out of play.
Yeah, Slavkovsky had to really readjust there. Down on one knee, expecting the puck to come, and then had to double clutch and wait for it for an extra second, and ends up firing it over the net. Tipped into the netting by Lindholm.
So the Canadiens will change up their power play unit, face off to the left of Swayman. They have the double minor here. Late stages, second period on the road in Boston. 2-2. And the Bruins with a late substitution.
Josh Anderson getting some power play time here. Don't see that very often.
Yeah. Suzuki's back on the bench. He usually plays both units, but with a 4 minute, he won't. Kapanen, Demidov, Dobson, Anderson, and Gallagher. Gallagher gets it over to Kapanen. Kapanen trying to get it low. Down to Gallagher. Did not work. Anderson will get it to Gallagher. Gallagher in the corner. Open side to Demidov at the hash marks. Great space. Steps away from a couple Bruins. That's McAvoy. Back over to Dobson. Dobson slides it over. Anderson puts it behind the net for Gallagher. He's got a puck. He'll leave it for Kapanen in the corner. Anderson center point. Asking for his Demidov. He'll get it. They'll skate back to the goal line, trying to give it back to Dobson, but that's stolen away by McAvoy. And now the Canadiens trying to pick up that loose puck, but it comes to Zacha, and here comes Zacha up the ice. Demidov chasing after him. Zacha takes a shot from distance. That goes wide, and Anderson has to pick it up and put it behind the net for Dobson. 2:22 left in the double minor. Kapanen drops it off. Right side, Gallagher enters the zone. Taking the pass from Demidov. Elias Lindholm in the corner. Suzuki's right back out on the ice. Bruins first on in and up. Sean Corrali comes. Crossing through the neutral zone, and he backtracks with the puck to kill a little bit more time before firing it down the ice. We're into the second half, so the Canadiens are officially 0 for 3 on the power play. And this is their 4th power play of the game, brought to you by Ford of Canada, official partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Second half of the double minor. Slavkovsky puts it in the corner for Suzuki. Suzuki takes a bump from Peak, back over to Bolduc. Bolduc into the corner for Suzuki. He's got a man on top of him. Caulfield comes in to help out, trying to dig that puck out, looking back to the blue line. Bolduc has it, leaves it for Hudson. Hudson trying to get it over to Bolduc, but it goes off a skate to Suzuki in the corner for Caulfield. Into the far side, there's Slavkovsky, tried to pass it back door, but too hot of a pass and a bounce the other way. Janot trying to get a breakaway, but good hustle by Slavkovsky to get all the way back to cut him off. As the Canadiens struggling here on the power play in this game. 1 minute left on this double minor. So Slavkovsky takes the blue line, backhand pass. Caulfield with Bolduc. Caulfield shot, saved by Swayman. Nifty pass by Slavkovsky, and it's cleared down the ice.
Yeah, kind of a broken play. Ends up being their best chance on this 4-minute power play. Caulfield usually really strong in that spot, but Swayman makes a good save.
Another opportunity for Caulfield. Up the ice, Demidov with Gallagher. Gallagher leaves it back to the blue line to Dobson. Over to Gallagher on the high slide. There's Anderson with a shot saved by Swayman. Good puck movement by this unit. Anderson turns that over. It's back the other way. Kustadinov trying to get it over to Kastelic, but Anderson back checking. Swoops that puck away on the counterattack. Josh Anderson driving the net. Takes a shot. That goes wide off the stick of Lowry. Demidov picks it up. He'll put it behind the net for Anderson. Trying to backhand that in front for Kapanen. Back to the point. Dobson keeps it alive. Trying to put that towards goal, but Kustadinov blocks that off. And the Canadiens go for a change. And now Matheson lead past final seconds. Veleno. Lowry turns that over. And it'll come over to Kapanen. We're back to 5-on-5. Canadiens 0 for 4 on the power play. It's still 2-2. Back to 5-on-5. In the corner, Veleno. Sharp angle shot. Shoulder save from Swayman. Deneau's picking it up. Skating back towards the blue line. There's a wrist shot. That's not going to make it through. And counterattack for the Bruins. 60 seconds left here in the second period. Sammy Blais will chop this out to center ice. Zadorov backs up with possession in his own zone. Picking up the puck. He'll skate it up. Veleno chases after him. He'll dump that in, and Matheson has to chase after it, but there was players offside, and it'll come out to the neutral zone with 40.8 seconds remaining here in the second. So the Canadiens unable to convert on that double minor on the power play.
Power play hasn't been good tonight. And for the most part, credit Boston's penalty killers, but not a lot of scoring chances generated by Montreal. You had the one good chance by Cole Caulfield after a nifty pass by Uri Slavkovsky. But other than that, 4 minutes of power play time, not resulting in a lot of offense for Montreal.
So in the final minute here of the second period.
Another high stick.
And I don't know if there's any call if they saw it. It was Cole Caulfield. Watch out. Here comes Pasternak. Drop pass looking for Kiki. That's off a skate. And the Canadiens come back the other way looking for the long pass for Suzuki, but they're going to call icing against Montreal with 27 seconds left.
Caulfield's looking for an explanation. He caught a stick right off the face-off.
Right in the face as the Canadiens looking for another power play.
Bench not happy about this one. Pretty obvious, too.
And they're not happy about the icing either. They want the face-off to come out to center ice. We'll see what the referees decide, but I don't think the Canadiens are going to win this. So final seconds, and Bruins scored in the final seconds of the first when it was 1-1. 20 seconds. Bruins dump that in. Carrier chasing after it. He'll just chop it off the boards. Bouncing puck. Watch out. Here's Geeky, and Matheson got the stick in front of that one. As the Canadiens a little sloppy, just trying to clear up the boards, but the Bruins were ready for it. 7 seconds. Geeky behind the net. Puts it into the crease. It's loose, and the Bruins score late again.
Oh, they're waving it off.
Elias Lindholm puts it in, but the referee waves it off right away. 4.7 seconds left in the second. Now the players are getting into it. Slavkovsky's tied up with Zadorov, McAvoy, and Matheson. Fowler was down. There was lots of chaos in the crease. Slavkovsky trying to give it to Zadorov. But the referee in the corner waved it off right away.
I'm not sure what happened out in front of the net. Very possible that the referee felt as though Fowler was pitchforked into the net before the puck was actually put over the line.
So lots to sort out here.
A lot of traffic in front of Fowler, though, before that one went in.
But again, the Canadiens very sloppy in their zone trying to clear the puck, leading to multiple chances in the final 20 seconds. We'll see what...
Montreal 20, Boston 91, 2 minutes each for roughing. Also on the play, there is no goal due to goaltender interference.
Yeah, that's Furman South. So Geekie brings it around and tries to stuff it in front. And Pasternak...
I mean, if I'm Boston, though, my argument is most of the contact with Fowler is actually by Juraj Slafkovsky.
Yeah,
I guess you could say Pasternak kind of bumped Slafkovsky into Fowler. But, you know, what they always look at, Campbell, is does the attacking player go into the blue paint on his own? Mm-hmm. Right? You go into the blue paint and not make contact with the goalie, and you can go into the blue paint if you're pushed there. But if you go there on your own and the goalie ends up being collided with, the goal always comes back. So Pasternak here pushes Slafkovsky a little bit, goes into the blue paint on his own terms, and that's why there's no goal here for Boston.
Well, we hear Furman South saying no goal due to goalie interference, right? Now, that's incidental goalie interference, which he did not say. And if it's goalie interference, then why not just call a penalty?
Right. I guess, yeah, you can look at it if it's pure goalie interference. Maybe you just left out that one keyword that you're looking for here.
It doesn't look like we're going to get a challenge from the Boston Bruins. The faceoff, it's outside the blue line with just seconds remaining, so it will not count.
Nah, there's no way they can challenge that one.
So we'll have a little 4-on-4 to start the third period as time expires here in the second. And we only have one goal unassisted from Demidov.
And it was a beautiful goal, too. One goal in the period, but wow. Demidov picking up a puck in the neutral zone, skating right in, deking to his forehand, and tucking it past Jeremy Swayman. Terrific goal, and Montreal goes into this third period, all tied up at 2.
They get the only goal of that period. They did outshot the Bruins 12-5, but did not convert on the double minor, and now we're 0-for-4 in the hockey game on the power play. It's 2-2 with a whole period left to go before the holiday break. Second intermission. Joey Elias, Lucas Scott, and myself, Sean Campbell, on TSN 690.
I'm Dan Robertson, and I'd like to take the time today to talk about something I truly believe in. Campbell versus Gallo on TSN 690. Two men that define the word chemistry, a class they both failed in high school. With their powers combined, it's called must-listen sports radio. It is all my favorite things, Campbell and Gallo. I support Campbell versus Gallo, and you should too. Weekdays 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on TSN 690.
This ad is paid for and approved by Campbell vs. Gallo and unpaid associates. When you choose the STM to get to an event, you aren't just riding public transit. You're riding a wave of collective energy with fans just like you all the way to the big event. Heading to the Bell Center? No need to put your whole day on ice. With public transit, you won't have to worry about traffic or parking. A trip to Lucien Lallier or Bonaventure Station gets you right to the heart of the action. Now that's what we call putting it on the tape. With the STM, birds of a feather ride together.
You were good this year. You always returned your shopping cart. You kept that plant alive, and the group chat even met up in real life. You deserve to be on the nice list. And maybe switch up that 2021 phone. Because when your phone levels up, your connection will too.
Boxing Week offers are heating up at Bell. Switch to Canada's fastest 5G Plus network and get amazing offers on phones, plans, and more. Visit a Bell store or bell.ca/Boxing Week for details. Bell. Connection is everything.
For over 10 years, Novo has teamed up with thousands of employers to establish high-performance OHS game plans. We excel in our field by providing top-level, comprehensive, and integrated occupational health, safety, well-being, and human resources services. Being part of your success is our greatest motivation and pushes us to innovate every day. Together, we are creating healthy, dedicated, and safe workplaces. Novo is a proud partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
Whether it's gas, electric, or hybrid, Ford vehicles are always powered by pride. And just like the great teams that inspire us, we always strive for the highest honors. Our lineup is strong, agile, and built to perform. We give it our all to help you and your crew achieve great feats, experience great thrills, and confidently drive to the next great adventure. Your local Ford dealers, proud partners of the Montreal Canadiens. Ready, set, Ford.
Craving great food, big games, and an unbeatable atmosphere? Head to La Cage. Whether you're here for the wings or the wins, or to have a good time, one thing's for sure. At La Cage, everyone's a fan.
50 or over? Talk to your healthcare provider about Prevnar 20, a pneumococcal pneumonia vaccine. Learn more at Prevnar20.ca.
Canadiens Hockey is presented by SOR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
Dug out by the Bruins, and Zadorov will lead pass out to the right side. Didn't work, so Zaka leaves it in the middle. Watch out. Breakaway coming in alone. Demidov, forehand scores! Bruins sloppy in the neutral zone. Demidov picks it up near the red line and darts right in all alone. Ties his game at 2. Here comes the Canadiens back on the counterattack, and here comes Deneau driving the net on the backhand shot. Rebound sitting there. Gallagher can't reach it. He'll bring it back to the blue line. Nice play by Deneau. There's a shot for the post. Hits the post. Carrier from the left point just throwing on the net. Looks like it bounced once before it hit that post. 7 seconds. Geeky behind the net. Puts it to the crease. It's loose, and the Bruins score. Late again.
They're waving it off.
Elias Lindholm puts it in, but the referee waves it off right away. 4.7 seconds left in the second. Now the players are getting into it. Slavkovsky's tied up with Zadorov, McAvoy, and Matheson.
Montreal 20, Boston 91, 2 minutes each for roughing. Also on the play, there's no goal due to goaltender interference.
Welcome to the second intermission. I'm Joey Elias, along with Luca Scott and Sean Campbell, who has been calling the game. Much better period for the Montreal Canadiens in terms of shots on goal. They outshot Boston 12-5, and Ivan Demidov, what a beautiful goal. Picked up the puck off a terrible Boston giveaway. And was that considered the only highlight of the second period, Sean?
Yeah, maybe. There a couple. I like the save Fowler made on Arvidsson. He was able to kind of, that breakaway, half breakaway that he got coming down the right side. He didn't bite on the fake shot. You see some goalies or young goalie maybe be able to fall for that, but he was able to stand tall. Some big saves. He had one on Chanot as well. But Demidov, that'll be part of your highlight package. Brutal giveaway. And then when Zadorov and Pasternak are kind of standing still and Demidov's in full stride, they were not catching him. And he's able to get it to bury it to tie this game at 2. Yeah, the shots were better for the Canadiens, but I'll tell you, the Canadiens trying to get out of their zone. The Bruins are doing a really good job, including in the last 20 seconds of that period where there was a neutral zone face-off. The Bruins got it in with 20 seconds left and had multiple chances.
Not only that, but I found it's very obvious because the power play is 0 for 4 tonight for Montreal. But I found Boston is very aggressive on their penalty kill, especially right at the blue line.
Yeah.
And Slavkovsky got caught not once, but twice on the same power play, I believe.
Yeah, the Canadiens like to take the blue line, then pull up, right? And then try and draw them in, they want the Bruins to play high on them, draw 1 or 2 players, and then pass it down low to create an outnumbering position down low. They'll do the same thing by playing so low and then bring it up high. But Slavkovsky may be hanging on to it a little too long. The Bruins reading that, knowing what the Canadiens want to do. This is called pre-scout, right? Your pre-scout, your assistant coaches, your video coaches take a look at this, say, hey, the Canadiens, they get that blue line and then they go right to the corner. If you pressure them, they make that little pass. If you get your stick in there, then they're going to be forced to go back to the neutral zone. That happened a couple times, which once you have to go back to the neutral zone, it almost adds like 20 seconds off on the PK.
No, you mentioned, Joey mentioned that Montreal power play that's struggling 0 for 4 tonight. And despite the struggles, Sean, am I crazy for liking what I saw from Josh Anderson on the power play for the simple fact that he just shot the puck. Like he didn't care. He wasn't trying to make the extra fancy pass. If he got a good look, he shot it on net. And listen, the Canadiens power play is one of the best in the league. Don't get me wrong, but on nights like this where the tic-tac-toe stuff isn't flowing, I like the straightforward approach by Anderson.
Yeah, and they had another good shift. It was the fourth line. They just got back to the blue line. Dobson took a couple shots. I know one Kapanen was just missing on the screen, and that was just a shot for distance. Dobson took one. He hit Sammy Blais, but Sammy Blais was in front. And Anderson doesn't get the power play opportunity, but because it's a double minor, Suzuki's not going to double up and play the whole 4 minutes. He's going to go for a rest, and that gave Anderson a chance to go out there on the power play. And you know what? That's what happens. You're not on the power play. You don't get power play time. Coach taps you on the back and said, probably would have went to Texier. But Texier's out of the game right now. So he taps Anderson, go. Okay. Make the most of it. And that's usually what happens. You don't, if he messes up, it's not like he's primed and ready to get more power play time. He probably won't play any power play time in the third if they get another opportunity. May not even play on this road trip on the power play again. But I'm with you. Simple hockey sometimes is the way to go. And the way this game is going, I think a simple goal is going to go in.
If people look at the score sheet after 2 periods and they look at Joe Veleno, he only has 1 shot on net and 1 hit in the game. I think he's playing a really good game.
Yeah.
And I've been called crazier, crazy for lesser things. But I really do think that, he's trying to prove his point. And he's like, I know you got other guys coming back, but I'm here to stay.
Yeah, I think Joe Veleno is one of those guys that's trying to earn his keep every time he's out there. And what would have happened with Joe Veleno if, Evans wasn't hurt and they traded for Deneau? And then, okay, you got to play the wing. Okay, I'll play the wing. I'll play whatever you need to know. But ever since he's gotten in, he's been able to prove an asset to Marty St. Louis that he can trust. Now, a lot of time I see Joe Veleno and I look at it this way. He doesn't really do much out there to benefit your team offensively, but he definitely doesn't hurt you defensively. So when I see games like this where he's actually creating some opportunities, and I think Veleno, Blais, and Gallagher, it's been one of the stronger lines for the Canadiens tonight.
By the way, we're talking shots on goal. Cole Caulfield leads the team tonight with 4. Mm-hmm. And then, yes, your man Josh Anderson is tied with Mike Matheson for 3.
Yeah, so just getting
and 2 of those, I think, came on the power play.
Yeah, so just puck to net. And it's as simple as it gets. You got 1 period left before the holiday break. Just got to outscore the Boston Bruins in Boston. Jacob Fowler's up for the task, the old Boston College graduate. So let's see what the Canadiens could do here in the third.
Yeah, it is tied 2-2. What do you, very quickly, before we take a quick break, before we come back with the out-of-town scoreboard, what are you expecting to see out of the Montreal Canadiens in the third period?
Well, if they want to win this hockey game, they got to be cleaner in their own zone. They got to be cleaner on their breakouts. They're having a tough time with that forecheck. The Bruins are reading them very well. And if they get another opportunity on the power play, they have to convert. Yeah, you don't want to go 0 for 5. In this game, you got to convert on your power play.
Well, we're going to see if that happens, and also we're going to find out if Lucas Scott wins his bold prediction with there's another fight. But we're going to come back right after this with the out-of-town scoreboard here on TSN 690.
We all have the same goal, to be environmentally responsible. That's why Rio Tinto and the Montreal Canadiens are teaming up. We're replacing 1.5 million single-use plastic cups at the Bell Center with cups made with infinitely recyclable aluminum from Quebec. And the low-carbon aluminum we use for the cups is made by Rio Tinto right here in Quebec. It's a sustainability slapshot. To learn more, go to riotinto.com.
Are you looking for a damage insurance broker that specializes in commercial insurance? There is only one name, Essor Insurance. Present in 12 regions in Quebec, Essor Insurance brokers are the perfect advisors for you. With more than 65 years experience, Essor Insurance is proud of its team of brokers who stand out for their ability to select the best products for your business. Call 833-370-2704 or visit essor.ca to ask for a quote. You deserve the best broker there is. Essor Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens.
You were good this year. You always returned your shopping cart. You kept that plant alive, and the group chat even met up in real life. You deserve to be on the nice list. And maybe switch up that 2021 phone. Because when your phone levels up, your connection will too.
Boxing Week offers are heating up at Bell. Switch to Canada's fastest 5G plus network and get amazing offers on phones, plans, and more. Visit a Bell store or bell.ca/Boxing Week for details. Bell. Connection is everything.
Abrisvo is an RSV vaccine. 60 or over? Talk to your healthcare provider about Pfizer's Abrisvo. Visit abrisvo.ca.
Whether it's gas, electric, or hybrid, Ford vehicles are always powered by pride. And just like the great teams that inspire us, we always strive for the highest honors. Our lineup is strong, agile, and built to perform. We give it our all to help you and your crew achieve great feats, experience great thrills, and confidently drive to the next great adventure. Your local Ford dealers, proud partners of the Montreal Canadiens. Ready, set, Ford.
Canadiens hockey is presented by SOR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
Once more, Heiskanen left wing in front, tip, score! Wyatt Johnston! His 20th goal of the season. And the league-leading power play man has put Dallas back in front.
Well, with the out-of-town scoreboard, you just heard it here. Wyatt Johnston took the Stars, and they are now leading 3-2 over the Red Wings. There's 5.5 minutes left in that one. Capitals over the Rangers in the third. That is a 3-2 lead. Alexei Protosh got his 13th. Senators, Sabres with lots of time left in the third. They're tied at 2. Devil Islanders tied at 1. Panthers finally got on the board when Nico Mikkola scored his first of the season just not too long ago, actually, maybe a minute and a half ago. And they're down, though, to the Hurricanes by 1 goal. Predators and Wild 2-2. And the Flyers, Blackhawks, they're about to start any second now. The same with the Mammoth and the Avalanche. And Flames, Oilers, 9 o'clock start. Then the Sharks and Golden Knights in Vegas. That starts at 10. Kraken in L.A., also a 10 o'clock start. Earlier today, William Nylander, you know what he said? I got to get 4 points and lead the Maple Leafs to a 6-3 win over the Penguins. That is your out-of-town scoreboard. Third period action next here on TSN 690.
Hey, so what did you want to talk about?
Well, I want to tell you about Wegovy.
Wegovy?
Yeah, Wegovy.
What about it?
On second thought, I might not be the right person to tell you.
Oh, you're not?
No, just ask your doctor about Wegovy. Yeah, ask for it by name.
Okay, so why did you bring me to this circus?
Oh, I'm really into lion tamers. You know, with the chair and everything.
Ask your doctor for Wegovy by name. Visit wegovy.ca for savings. Exclusions may apply.
Here, we like to keep it fresh because Tim's coffee is brewed fresh every 20 minutes. Whether you're on the go or at your desk, it's always the perfect time for Canada's favorite coffee. Made with 100% premium Arabica beans. It's time for fresh. It's time for Tim's.
For 60 years, Delmar has delivered excellence. Strikes, delays, tariffs, challenge accepted. With global reach, smart tech, and supply chain mavens, Delmar's proactive approach ensures your cargo keeps moving. DelmarCargo.com. Logistics made simple.
Craving great food, big games, and an unbeatable atmosphere? Head to La Cage. Whether you're here for the wings or the wins, or to have a good time, one thing's for sure. At La Cage, everyone's a fan.
When you choose the STM to get to an event, you aren't just riding public transit. You're riding a wave of collective energy with fans just like you all the way to the big event. Heading to the Bell Center? No need to put your whole day on ice. With public transit, you won't have to worry about traffic or parking. A trip to Lucien Lallier or Bonaventure Station gets you right to the heart of the action. Now that's what we call putting it on the tape. With the STM, birds of a feather ride together.
Here, we like like to keep it fresh because Tim's coffee is brewed fresh every 20 minutes. Whether you're on the go or at your desk, it's always the perfect time for Canada's favorite coffee, made with 100% premium Arabica beans. It's time for fresh. It's time for Tim's.
Canadiens hockey is presented by SOR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
Getting ready for the third period. Final period before the holiday break for the Montreal Canadiens. They'll come back home, spend some time with their families, and then off to Florida. Tampa Bay, December 28th, 5 p.m. Victor Finley and John Goins will have the call. But tonight, you're stuck. Sean Campbell, Mitch Gallo. Glad you could join us. Been a lot of fun. We got a whole period left, Mitch.
Canadiens are going to have to grind it out in this third period. A couple players fighting a virus, and Alex Texier hit early in that second period and has left the game, will not return. So down a body up front, and already a couple players maybe on wobbly legs. So kind of a grind to the finish line here. 2-2 Boston-Montreal, third period coming up.
So we'll see how this one finishes off. But both teams haven't played perfect games, as we're tied up at 2. Sammy Blais opened the scoring, then Husnudinov tied it up at 1, and then Alex Steeves late in the first to make it 2-1. And the only goal in the second period from Ivan Demidov, unassisted, and we are underway here in the third. Elias Lindholm wins this back. We got some 4-on-4 hockey, late penalties at the end of the period. So we got about a minute 45 of 4-on-4. So some open ice for McAvoy. He'll drop pass over to Pasternak, crossing over the blue line. He'll take a shot for distance, high and wide. Back to the point. Hampus Lindholm, he'll lose that. And here comes Suzuki trying to chop that by McAvoy. And it just goes off his blade of his stick and rolls to the blade of the stick of Pasternak, looping behind his own net. Pasternak with speed in the neutral zone gets by Kapanen. Fakes the shot, rolls back to the blue line. Puts it towards the goal. Lindholm back across the blue line to Pasternak. Pasternak just playing keep away right now with the Canadiens. Knocked off the puck by Caulfield, allowing Noah Dobson to pick it up. He'll put it behind the net for Oliver Kapanen. Some changes from both teams. Kapanen leaves it for Hudson. Hudson with speed. Crossing the blue line, pulls up at the top of the circle, left side, down low, behind the net. Kapanen gets the great, trying a quick wraparound, stuffing it short side, his stick breaks. And Swayman with the right pad save, but I like that move from Kapanen.
Yeah, Swayman was sharp on it, but almost caught him off guard. He gets the right pad down right at the last second.
And so Slafkovsky and Zadorov are the ones in the box. They'll be out in 25 seconds, and we'll be back to 5-on-5. Carrier, drop pass over to Hudson through the neutral zone. Hudson trying to pick up speed, crossing the blue line. He's got Deneau behind him. Deneau goes towards the net, into the high slot. From the bench is Anderson. Anderson goes and loses the puck because the stick of Kapanen was behind the net. And it was broken. Now it's in the corner. The referee trying to get out of the way. The
referee
Bruins
wants to pick up the stick.
Now it's in two pieces. And it's flipped into the Bruins bench with 1 second left on 4-on-4 hockey.
Yeah, 2 broken sticks on that shift. One from Kapanen. Also earlier, right at the beginning of the 4-on-4, Nick Suzuki's shift, stick exploded on that shift. And brief of 4-on-3 for Boston when Suzuki had to go to the bench to get another piece of lumber. So we'll see, Campbell. We also had Matheson breaking a stick. Sticks are exploding, so some Montreal Canadian players might need some Christmas presents. By the way, check out Play It Again Sports if you want to pick up a last-minute hockey stick for your loved one.
Do we have a count on Matheson this year?
It's unbelievable. I mean, there was one game, I think there was 4, like a couple weeks ago.
Face off to the left of Swayman, won by the Bruins. McAvoy taking it on the right wing boards, long lead pass. Tape to Zaka. He'll backhand that into the corner. Dobson has to chase after it. He'll whip it around the boards. Bruins hugging those boards, steal it away. That's Arvidsson over to Middlestat. Middlestat, back to Arvidsson, trying to put it in front, off a leg and all the way down the ice.
You were talking earlier about the Canadiens' inability to break out at times. That was another terrible, risky pass up the middle of the ice that could have led to a bad Boston chance.
Zadorov slowly up in his own zone. Canadiens way in the neutral zone. Bruins dump it in. Hops over the stick of Jack-Eye back to the left point. But coming for the bench was Peak, so he wasn't holding that point. Now he has to chase after it back behind his own net. Sammy Blais standing in front of Swayman. No pressure, and he backs up to the neutral zone. Now he'll chase after that outlet pass. Ahead for the Bruins, cut off by Veleno. Veleno leaves it. Open wing for Gallagher. He'll chop it up to Sammy Blais. Get to the red line. He'll take a bump from Hampus Lindholm and get that puck in deep. Veleno in on the forecheck. Gives a shot to Pete. Canadians trying to steal that puck away, but the Bruins able to get it out. Over to the open wing. Bounces over the stick of Pasternak. And the Canadians recover.
Again, positive fourth line shift for Montreal here from Blais, Leno, and Gallagher.
Here comes the top line. Suzuki with speed down the left side. Pulls it to the corner. Back to the blue line. Matheson picks it up. He'll come down low. Put the puck in front. And it goes all the way out the other side. Off the corner boards and down the ice. And Dobson can't keep it in. And it goes all the way behind his own net. He's got to watch out. Kastelik is chasing after him. Now Fraser Minton trying to get to him. But he'll drop that over to Caulfield. Caulfield's lead pass to Bolduc is off a skate. And the Canadians reset back in their own zone. Different pace to this game here in the third. A little slower than we had in the first two.
Bit choppy here.
Here comes Cole Caulfield. He'll get to the red line. He'll dump that in. Zadorov behind his own net. He'll break that out. Here comes Fraser Minton. Minton across the blue line. Drop pass into high slot. McAvoy stepping up. Overskates the puck. Here come the Canadians in numbers. 2-on-1. It's Suzuki and Caulfield. Caulfield back to Suzuki, and it's behind him. One extra pass too many. And now back to the blue line. That's blocked as Anderson comes from the back end. But a 2-on-1, Suzuki and Caulfield, they were just off. Very rarely do we see a 2-on-1 between those two result in no shot on goal. And an errant pass between Caulfield and Suzuki down the ice. Hustudinov putting some pressure on Hudson. Hudson breaks out the right side. Another Canadian down on the ice holding his face.
Sammy Blais.
He's back up. Lead pass tipped in by Anderson. Now Danault chases after. Swayman's going to play behind the net, but he leaves it. First on is going to be Philip Danault. But Philip Danault in his first game with the Canadians. In his return since the trade with the LA Kings. Working the puck in the corner with Sammy Blais. To the right of Swayman. Now over to the left. Pinching in on the right side is Carrier. At the hash mark, trying to pin that puck along the boards with his skate. He leaves it for Danault. Puts it in front. There's Blais trying to go upstairs. Missed the net.
It's a nice one-handed pass by Danault.
Here's Hudson's spinning and twirling from the blue line, trying to put it on net. Hustudinov blocks it with his skate, and it goes up and out of play.
That was really nice play by Phil Danault right at the goal line. You know, couldn't get his other hand on his stick, but still gets the puck out to Sammy Blais, who has a really good look and just fires it a little bit too high past Jeremy Swayman over the net.
You can see Cole Caulfield looking at the replay of his play with Suzuki and realizing after he misses a pass to Suzuki, that's when you want Cole Caulfield shooting in that position.
No question about it. I mean, he's got that great shot, that great release. He's the best goal scorer on the Canadians, and he defers there to Suzuki, and the pass is not a good one.
Here's Davidoff. Back over. Slavkovsky fans on his shot. Nice little backhand pass right off the draw. Nifty little play and quick passes from that trio. Slavkovsky at the blue line, gets it over to Kapanen, pulls up, trying to take a shot. That's blocked off. And Peak will pick it up and take it behind his net. Lindholm, Hampus that is, over to Pasternak. Pasternak through the neutral zone, taking the right wing, gets around Davidoff. Curl and drag shot. Matheson still blocks that and then takes him out in the corner. Rolls over to Geekie. Geekie back to the blue line. Hampus Lindholm with a shot tipped in front. Fowler makes the save, cleared by the Canadians. And Hampus Lindholm with the veteran turn and the lazy skate did not fool the linesman.
Didn't work.
Icing waved off.
I was hoping the puck was on end, that it was going to kind of roll down the ice, but referee waves it off.
Yeah, Bruins dump it right back in. Gallagher along the boards will just shovel that up. Chasing after is Veleno with Sammy Blais. Veleno using some speed over on the right side. Pulls up at the hash marks. Puts it in the corner for Sammy Blais. Gallagher's there to help out. Right behind the goal line. Gallagher, Blais looking back towards the point. Carrier pitches in on the right side, trying to keep that in deep, and it's cleared out to center ice.
Looks like a little extra ice time here for Sammy Blais, who saw a shift with Phil Danault and Josh Anderson earlier, now back on this fourth line with Veleno and Gallagher.
With Texier out of the game, there's only 11 forwards for the Canadians. Gallagher trying to chop this out to center ice. Sammy Blais at the end of that second shift. Just forechecking, and now we'll go to the bench. Another exploding stick. Zadorov, he'll lose it to Bolduc. Here's Hudson jumping up in the rush. In the high slot. Backhand, and the Canadian scores. Bolduc. Suzuki couldn't bury it. Bolduc picks up the rebound. The Canadiens take advantage of Zadorov's stick breaking at his own blue line, and it's a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, nice way to follow up that play by Bolduc. He's the guy coming in late. Beautiful pass. Hudson gets the puck to Suzuki. Suzuki tries to deke to the backhand. Swayman goes for the poke check, gets the poke check, but in the process loses his stick. And then Bolduc, the trailer, comes in and has a wide open net to shoot at. So, yeah, it was a nice play originally by Swayman, but the puck just spurts out to Bolduc, who makes no mistake and puts that one right in the middle of the net.
Yeah, nice passing, no hesitation, as the Canadiens were able to take advantage of it. So that'll make it 3-2. And I'm curious if the Bruins want to take a look at this, because after Suzuki, he did run into Swayman. So we're going to have, there was no challenge earlier on a goal at the end of the second period in which Slafkovsky bumped into Fowler.
Yeah.
And a goal was called a back.
I want to see this one again. I want to see how far Swayman comes out of his net, and also the stick comes flying out of Swayman's hand. Is that part of the reason why Suzuki fell over? This is going to be one that's interesting to see on the replay for sure. I mean, Suzuki's never hitting blue paint, right? And it's Swayman's leg in the white paint that kicks out, and that's why Suzuki goes flying over him.
There is contact.
There's contact, but why is there contact? Because Swayman is really far out of his net. Like, what is Suzuki supposed to do differently on that play? If this is called back, which I don't know, it's such a subjective thing when it comes to goaltender interference. But if this one is called back, I'm Suzuki,
it was a quick review.
If I'm Suzuki, I want to know what I can do differently.
After the coach's challenge video review, the initial call on the ice is confirmed. It is a goal.
There you go. It's a goal. It's going to stand, and the Canadiens get a power play.
It's that white paint, Campbell. The Swayman is so far out of his net, and his right pad is what kicks Suzuki over. Suzuki's never anywhere near the crease. The players have to have some room to operate in the offensive zone. And now Boston, because of that challenge, and I think it's a bad one by Marco Sturm and the coaching staff, Canadiens not only grab a 3-2 lead almost halfway through this third period, but now they have a power play. And, man, a goal could really put Boston away here.
So the Canadiens go to the power play presented by Ford, Canada, official partner of the Canadiens. They're 0 for 4 on the power play. 5th power play opportunity in this game. So it'll be Zachary Bolduc getting his 10th of the season from Hudson and Suzuki after the challenge it stands. And the Canadiens are on the power play. So Slafkovsky in his own zone as the Bruins won that. Breakout pass over to Suzuki. Bolduc back over to Suzuki. He'll take the blue line, put it behind the net. Caulfield waiting for it in the far corner. He'll leave it on the right side. Bolduc is there, and he has to skate out to the neutral zone. He'll put it to an open wing. That's dangerous. Watch out. Here comes Kastelik in the high slot. Quick shot, blocker save. Rebound save there. Another save by Fowler as Sean Corrali had 2 grade A opportunities shorthanded.
You have a lead. That's not a play you want to make if you're Bolduc. You just scored the go-ahead goal, and he almost gives a breakout pass right to Kastelik. Fowler bails him out, though. 2 big saves there on Corrali.
And there's a hard hit. McAvoy takes out Suzuki. Bolduc doesn't like it. Now McAvoy takes out Bolduc as Slafkovsky has the puck. Suzuki's back up. Canadians setting up on the power play. Suzuki, left side, into the bumper position, looking for Bolduc. Swing and a miss. Rolls right back to Hudson. He'll skate down by the goal line and drop pass over to Suzuki, who comes back to the blue line. Now Hudson, there's Bolduc, quick shot, rebound! Swayman with the save. It's loose on the left. Canadians looking for it, cleared by the Bruins.
That was a really nice save by Swayman. Really nice save by Swayman.
And now behind the play, Bolduc takes a shot from McAvoy, because Bolduc went after McAvoy. McAvoy absolutely gave a huge hit on the PK on Suzuki. Bolduc was going after him all shift long. It's whistled down for a high stick. And I think the Bruins are getting another penalty. It's going to be a 5-on-3. This happened behind the play.
Yeah, something that happened behind the play.
Boston penalty. Number 84.
That's Tanner Jeannot.
I think, Bolduc probably did a really good job here of being the instigator, being a bit of a pest. Does that role really well. There's a big hit by McAvoy on Suzuki. I think what Bolduc didn't like about the hit, Suzuki didn't have the puck. The puck was on Bolduc's stick when McAvoy threw that hit. Suzuki was really vulnerable there because he wasn't expecting that blow. And then it's Bolduc getting into it with Tanner Jeannot. Jeannot with the cross-check. McAvoy also knocks Bolduc over. You know, this is, when Bolduc is engaged like this is when he becomes really useful. Because other teams don't like playing against him. He did this earlier in the season with Ottawa, drawing penalties at the beginning of the game after a huge hit on Jake Sanderson. And now the Canadians get a 5-on-3 advantage and a chance to really put the game away.
And they're going to call a timeout to rest Caulfield, Suzuki. And we'll see who they go for. I think they're going Caulfield, Suzuki, Slafkovsky, Dobson, and Demidov on the 5-on-3. We see Dobson out there on the 5-on-3. So the Canadians with a 5-on-3, and they're going to get their 6th power play opportunity. Power play presented at Ford of Canada, official partner of the Canadians, and a huge opportunity. Canadians take the lead on the Bolduc goal. Challenge. And then it's a delay of game because challenge did not work. And now Bolduc out there after scoring the goals draws a power play with Tanner Jeannot taking a retaliation penalty, giving a shot to Bolduc, who was going for a change, giving the 5-on-3, 40 seconds of the two-man advantage. So the face-off, Zaka versus Suzuki to the left of Swayman. One to the boards, Canadians win it back to the blue line. Dobson, center point. Demidov off the boards on the right side, left-handed shot, back over to Dobson. Dobson down low in the corner, behind the net, Suzuki. Suzuki back over to Demidov. He's in the corner, front of the net, Slafkovsky. Broken stick, and it comes to Dobson, but now there's Caulfield. Oh, stick handles right into the crease and through the legs of Swayman. Power play goal. Canadians 4-2. What a goal by Caulfield.
What a beautiful play by Cole Caulfield. So they work the puck around, and the shot that they want to take here is the Noah Dobson one-timer with Juraj Slafkovsky standing in front of Swayman. Dobson's stick explodes, and the puck pops out to Cole Caulfield. But Caulfield's in so tight that he knows if he takes a shot, he is probably hitting Swayman, and Swayman's making a save. So what does he do? He stick handles a bunch, which forces Swayman to eventually open up the 5-hole, and that's the only place that Cole Caulfield can put it, is between the legs. But what a great job of being patient, stick handling, forcing Swayman to open up the 5-hole, and as soon as he does, that's when Cole Caulfield puts it there.
And it's going to be another penalty coming to the Bruins, because the Canadians continue on the power play for another minute 30, and Hampus Lindholm just took down Suzuki. So now a 5-on-3 power play again for Montreal. The Bruins are falling apart.
Boston penalty, number 27, Junior Liner.
And how about Dobson getting the assist on the Caulfield goal?
Yeah, the best pass of his life.
Sorry, it was Kapanen that got tripped.
Yeah, Kapanen tripped up by Lindholm. Pretty easy a call there. You know, Kapanen does a good job protecting the puck, and Lindholm goes for the poke and ends up getting his feet, taking him out from under him, and Boston is just completely unraveling here. All it took was that Bolduc goal, a bad challenge, and then another penalty on a retaliation, 5-on-3 goal. Montreal is up 2, and now they can really make it lights out for Boston.
Bruins win the draw, fire it down the ice, and the Canadians power play right back at it, presented by Ford of Canada, official partner of the Montreal Canadiens. 5-on-3 for a minute 17. The 5-on-3 unit comes right back out there. Slafkovsky gets it over to Dobson. Dobson down low, Demidov. Dobson trying to go for that shot, but that pass is blocked off. It is fired down the ice as Fowler comes out of his net. And let's not forget that short-handed save on Corrali, right. 2 of them from Fowler. And here comes Cole Caulfield. He'll take the blue line. Nifty move between Corrali and McAvoy to create space. Back to the point. Dobson gets it over to Cole Caulfield. Suzuki goes down by the goal line. Dobson and Caulfield switch spots. Now Dobson puts it towards the front of the net. Slafkovsky looking for the tip, but Swayman makes the save. He covers up. 42 seconds left in this 5-on-3 power play for the Canadians. They are up 4-2 here in the third. Bolduc and Cole Caulfield have scored. And I was taking a look at that Cole Caulfield goal. He stick-handled 7 times before he put it in the 5-hole of Swayman.
Yeah, and that was all by design. He knew what he had to accomplish with the stick handles was to open up the 5-hole. I think Slafkovsky did get his stick on that tip. And by the way, great point on this 2 saves by Jacob Fowler while the Canadians were on the power play. Those shorthanded chances by Boston, because it's not always how many saves you make, it's the timely saves, and that was a timely one.
Dobson keeps it in at the blue line. The 5-on-3 continues into the corner. Demidov, he picked up an assist on the Cole Caulfield goal. Demidov, he's got 2 points behind the net. Slafkovsky's in front of the crease. Looking back to the blue line at top of the circle, right side. Cole Caulfield over to Dobson. Dobson and Caulfield would switch spots. Down low over to Demidov at the faceoff dot. There's Dobson winding, firing. Canadian score! Nick Suzuki bats it out of midair. Power play goal. And the Canadians are rolling here in the third.
Well, they got the shot they wanted once again, the Noah Dobson one-timer. It was eventually a switch between Caulfield and Dobson. Dobson's back over on the right side, but it's Demidov with the pass back to the point. You have Dobson kind of skating downhill, steps into that one. Swayman makes the original save, and then both Nick Suzuki and Juraj Slafkovsky are swinging at the rebound, which is popped up in the air, and Nick Suzuki's in spring training mode, ready for baseball season with that one. Bats it right out of the air and makes the score 5-2 here in favor of the Canadians. And a really, really uphill climb for Boston now the rest of the way.
Yeah, no way it was a high stick. He just swatted it into the open cage. Dobson, Slafkovsky will get the assist. So the power play continues, though, for the Canadians. It was a 2 5-on-3 goals for the Habs. 40 seconds left in their 7th power play of the game. And here's Demidov. Try to add to that. Over to Gallagher on the right side. Gallagher gets poke checked by Lowry, and he'll put it off the boards and down the ice. But the Canadians with 3 straight goals, and they score a goal, challenge, and then a bunch of penalties. 2 power play goals. Canadians up 5-2 here in the third. Halfway through, here comes Hudson. Drop pass at the Bruins blue line. Now that's offside as they tried to find a streaky Kapanen. But I believe Gallagher was way too deep in the zone. So the Canadians will have a neutral zone face-off at the end of this power play streak. But now they're 2 for 7 on the power play in this game.
I'll tell you this, if you're Boston, if you go back to the disallowed goal when you thought you were up 3-2 and the goal gets called back, and now you're wondering, where did this game go? How did it slip away from us so quickly?
Dumped in, final seconds of the power play for the Canadians. But the Bruins have it. Lowry getting up to center ice. He'll chip it in. No one's chasing. And we're back to 5-on-5. Canadians, 2 straight 5-on-3 goals, have a 5-2 lead here in Boston with under 9 minutes to go. Anderson in on the forecheck. Deneau's there, so's Gallagher. Smells like 2021. Back to the blue line. Dobson trying to put that towards the net. Deneau will pick it up. He'll get it in deep. Gallagher chases after it. Into the corner for Anderson. Anderson working it to his forehand, back over to the left point. But the Canadians will back off the blue line, and here come the Bruins. And dumping it in, it goes off a body, bounces it from Pasternak, almost found it in front of Fowler. As you can tell, the Bruins are playing a little angry right now after giving up 3 straight goals. Make it 4 going back to the Demidov goal in the second period. Zadorov looping around the offensive zone. Trying to slide it over to Geekie, but that's cut off, and Canadians clear. Can't get it by the big body Zadorov at the blue line. And out of the corner, here's Pasternak into the slot. There's a shot, bouncing to front. Fowler with a save. It's loose to his right. We'll pick it up and take it behind the net.
Good play by Deneau.
Gets it to the open corner over to Matheson. He gets tripped up, but to Slafkovsky, and he'll try and get deep. He's one-on-one right now. No help. Waiting. Now here comes the help. There's a quick shot by Kapanen. Good save by Swayman, and then it goes right to Slafkovsky. Couldn't find Slafkovsky. Another shot. Quick shot, scores. What a pass by Hudson. It's 6-2. Slafkovsky with the patience on the zone entry, waiting for the help, created 3 straight opportunities, and that third one was his own. Buries it past Swayman, and the Canadians are up 6-2.
I'll tell you though, Sean, this starts long before the offensive zone time by Montreal. This starts inside Montreal's zone. Phil Deneau makes the crafty play. He picks up the puck basically in front of Fowler, and rather than try to come right out of the zone, he takes it behind the net. He's forced off and sealed off on the wall. Shifts it up to Matheson. Great play. Matheson with the breakout, gets it to Slafkovsky. Slafkovsky's zone entrance, and then you have Boston kind of scrambling around, and eventually Hudson makes the great pass to Slafkovsky. One-timer goal at 6-2.
It's a third period that the Canadians have taken control. Up 6-2 with just over 7 minutes remaining, sending many Bruins fans home very upset for the holidays. Suzuki back to the blue line. Hudson keeps that in. Caulfield with it. Stick handling in a phone booth today. Just lost that one into the corner. And now here's Arvidsson. He'll lose that to Bolduc. Bolduc in the corner. He's got a goal. He'll take a hard hit. from McAvoy. As Bolduc and McAvoy have been going at it all period long. Middlestat in trouble. Suzuki chases after him. And here's McAvoy, just flipping that out to neutral zone.
That was a hit with bad intentions from McAvoy on Bolduc, no question about it.
And not really much that the Canadians could do with McAvoy with him wearing the bubble.
Right. The bubble boy.
Dumped in by Gallagher. And it'll come back over to the boards, and Valeno out there keeps it in at the blue line. He's got a man, Gallagher, in front, but he gets stripped of it by Lowry. Lowry, lead pass over to Tanner Jeannot, and he'll dump that in, but he can't get it by Arbor Jackeye. Jackeye gets it out to the neutral zone. Gallagher swats that past Peak, but is pushed right back in. Struble gets it up to Valeno. Here's Sammy Blais. Loses it in his feet and loses it to Minton. The Canadians will change anyways as the Bruins bring it back to the D. Less than 6 to go here in the third. 6-2 Canadians. And the Bruins had a 2-1 lead in the second period. Lead pass. There's a quick shot. Elias Lindholm blockered away by Fowler. And Phil Deneau up the ice off that rebound. Hands it off to Bolduc. Bolduc slides it into the corner. Deneau knocks down his man. Anderson's in front of the net looking to see if there's a loose puck that'll come his way. But the Bruins will work it up the boards. It'll pop free right in front of the net. But Swayman comes out and leaves it for his defenseman. Bruins finally break out. Pasternak gets to the red line. He'll dump it in over the head of Matheson. Dobson gets there first, circles behind his net. Capping it along the boards, just wants to chop it out to center ice. He's able to do that. And time is not a friend of the Bruins right now with 5 minutes to go here in the third. Pasternak, lead pass over to Elias Lindholm. And Hudson gets it up the boards. The life of this game has been taken away by the Canadians here in the third. Hudson in the corner, battling with Elias Lindholm to the right of Fowler in his own zone. Slavkovsky back down deep, steals that puck away, protects it, trying to create space, and just backhands that up high. And that's gloved down by Hampus Lindholm, but he'll turn that over to Demidov. Slavkovsky drop pass, Hudson! Saved by Swayman. Hudson all alone as the third man in deep. Swayman able to make the big save, and then the Bruins ice it with 4:27 left in the third.
A little drag move by Hudson there. On the nice pass by Uri Slavkovsky, pretty much doing it all at this point with the goal and a nice pass there. And now if I'm Montreal, you have just over 4 minutes left in the game. You're up by 4 goals. I would be more worried about Boston trying to take a pound of flesh, more so than anything else in these next 4 minutes.
Well, I've seen it before. I don't know. This might be the last shift we see of Nick Suzuki. He's out there at this time of the game. Usually the last few minutes he'll go to the third and fourth lines, but being down one of those players in Texier, we'll see what Marty St. Louis wants to do. The Canadians keep that alive. Their top line is out there. And it's back to the blue line. Carrier and Hudson picking up the puck. Hudson over to Carrier. Right up the middle, tipped ahead by Bolduc. Caulfield will chase after it. Lowry will get there first. Over to Peak. Peak skates away from Caulfield and gets it out into the neutral zone. Bruins. Peak. Over to Arvidsson. Zaka. Middlestat. Lowry. Curl, drag, shot off the leg of Carrier wide into the corner. Bruins putting a little bit of pressure here. Suzuki behind his own net. Gets it over to Bolduc. But dug out by Zaka behind the net. There's Arvidsson trying to wrap around that one, but the Canadians are able to clear. Less than 4 to go. A slower paced first and second, but this third is blown by and blown wide open by the Canadians as they picked up 4 goals in a 5-minute span here in the third. Gallagher crossing the blue line, trying to take a shot, doesn't make it through, picked up by Corrali. Corrali and the Bruins, they have numbers coming up, but Gallagher stops that, forcing Steves just to fire that one in. Jackeye waiting in his own zone, puts it off the glass, and the Canadians are breaking out with Gallagher over to Blais. Blais tries to put that into the corner. Gallagher and Zadorov chase after it. Gallagher gives Zadorov a bump, and it's whipped around the boards, open side Corrali. Here comes Steves. Steve scored at the end of the first period where the Bruins had a 2-1 lead. That's the last time the Bruins got on the board. And Anderson just flips this one down the ice, and more time takes away on the clock. No icing. McAvoy will pick it up. McAvoy crosses the blue line. They'll leave it for Kastelic. Kastelic over to Minton. Minton Looking back to give it to Kastelik on the near side corner, and he'll get it to Kastelik, who takes a shot for the boards, but that's easily steered away by Fowler. 2 minutes on the clock. Minton back to the blue line, circling around on his backhand. From the left side to the right, he'll take a long-distance backhand shot. That's blockered away by Fowler, and Deneau gets it out to center ice. Canadians back in their own zone. Look up at the clock. It's been about 4 straight minutes without a whistle, and the last one was an icing. Slafkovsky flips that in, and the ones before that were all goals. Pass over to Peak. Peak takes the blue line for the Bruins. Shot from distance. Another save for Fowler. And Pasternak picks up the puck, but he's skated out of the zone by Demidov. And they're going to say no offside because Demidov brought it back in the zone. It doesn't matter. Here comes the Canadians. Slafkovsky crossing the blue line. Slides over looking for Kapanen, but that's going to be cut off by Elias Lindholm. Pasternak up the ice. And he gets poke checked, and we're going to have a penalty. And now a little pushing and shoving. Geekie going after Slafkovsky.
Good on Struble. He's not going to let Geekie take...
Zadorov going after Slafkovsky. Zadorov's dropping his gloves trying to go after Slafkovsky.
Well, they were going at it earlier, right?
But the linesmen jump in right away. As Zadorov really going after Slafkovsky. But the referees don't want this to escalate to anything.
Well, this is what I was talking about before. You knew that Boston was going to take liberties with the score being what it was. I like Struble jumping in immediately for Slafkovsky when Geekie originally tries to get in there. But then, unfortunately, Zadorov jumps in as well, and Zadorov's a lot to handle.
Canadians in control, 6-2 on the Bruins in Boston. Final minute still to come on TSN 690.
All rights to this broadcast are reserved, and any rebroadcast recording, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Montreal Canadiens is expressly prohibited.
You were good this year. You always returned your shopping cart. You kept that plant alive, and the group chat even met up in real life. You deserve to be on the nice list. And maybe switch up that 2021 phone, because when your phone levels up, your connection will too.
Boxing Week offers are heating up at Bell. Switch to Canada's fastest 5G Plus network and get amazing offers on phones, plans, and more. Visit a Bell store or bell.ca/Boxing Week for details. Bell. Connection is everything.
All right, Team IGA, it's a big game for the Habs tonight, and as the official grocer of the Montreal Canadiens, we've got a lot on our plate. But we also have chips, peanuts, frozen pizzas, chicken wings, mild, spicy, and barbecue, and let's not forget the fresh veggies. So what time is it?
It's crunch time!
And what are we cooking?
We're cooking up the win!
And who are we?
IGA, the official grocer of the Montreal Canadiens! Go Habs, go! Go Habs, go!
Canadians hockey is presented by SOR Insurance. You deserve the best broker there is. SOR Insurance, official damage insurance partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Enjoy the game.
So out of all that, Ivan Demidov gets a 2-minute minor for holding. It's a 10-minute misconduct for Zadorov and Slafkovsky. There's only 1:08 left here in the third. Canadians up 6-2. Sean Campbell, Mitch Gallo will be sticking around for the Delmar postgame show coming up with Joey Elias and Lucas Scott. So the Canadians go back to the PK, brought to you by Popeyes Quebec, and a good stick there by Veleno to block a pass over to Middlestat. 60 seconds left in this game. As Phil Deneau gets a breakout pass, but that's into the skates of Veleno, but the Bruins still have to back up all the way to their own zone. But the Canadians feeling good about their performance here in the third period, take advantage of a Bruins team which fell apart before their own eyes, and they can't take the zone, and Veleno will just dump that in front of the few Bruins fans that have remained to the end of the game. Victor Arvidsson, he'll take the blue line. He'll get it over to the right side. Steves down low. Middlestat. 10 seconds left here. He'll take that pass from Steves and he'll go into the corner for Xhekaj. He'll whip it out and down the ice, and that'll do it. As the Canadians will go home happy for the holidays with a big 6-2 win in Boston after an explosive third, which they scored 4 times. 6-2 final. Mitch, Canadians, they need to wake up on the power play, and they definitely did in the third.
They did, and it was very quickly how it changed for Montreal, where this game was going. You had a potential 3-2 lead for Boston. The goal is waved off on goalie interference. Montreal score in the third period. Zach Bolduc. Boston challenges for goaltender interference. That goal counts. Montreal get a power play, which results in a 5-on-3. They score again on the power play, and after that it was pretty much lights out. Montreal in a great stretch now, beating Chicago, shutting out Pittsburgh, getting a point in shootout against Pittsburgh, and now beating Boston on the road.
Your Molson export 3 stars. Jacob Fowler gets third star, 24 saves in the game, 3 assists for Lane Hudson, number 2 star, and Noah Dobson with 3 assists as well, including the broken stick assist to Cole Caulfield on the breakaway. It is now time for the play of the game, brought to you by Tim Hortons, official partner of the Montreal Canadiens. Demidov off the boards on the right side, left-handed shot, back over to Dobson. Dobson down low in the corner, behind the net, Suzuki. Suzuki back over to Demidov. He's in the corner, front of the net, Slavkovsky. Broken stick, and it comes to Dobson, but now there's Caulfield. Oh, stick handles right into the crease and through the legs of Swayman. Power play goal. Canadians 4-2. What a goal by Caulfield. That was some sick hands by Cole Caulfield, Mitch, as that was the one that really broke it open for the Canadians after the coach's challenge on the Bolduc goal. The Canadians get a couple 5-on-3 power play goals from Caulfield and Suzuki, and then Slavkovsky ices it. 6-2 final. Mitch, you going to stick around for the Del Mar postgame show?
I usually am the host of the Del Mar postgame show, but not tonight. It's going to be Joey Elias. But yeah, I want to kick around. What a great stretch of games this has been for the Montreal Canadiens. I want to talk about the slick hands by Cole Caulfield on that goal where he goes 5-hole on Swayman. And how about the third start tonight, Jacob Fowler Campbell? 24 saves on 26 shots in his first game back in Boston, where he had a lot of success in college.
We'll hear it all coming up from next. We'll hear from the callers. We'll hear from the host, Joey Elias, and Lucas Scott. Canadians win 6-2 over the Bruins. Happy holidays.
With the NHL app, you can listen to every NHL game right from your phone. And with home and away broadcast feeds, you choose your way to listen. Whether you're at work, at the gym, or stuck in traffic, the NHL app puts you right in the action all season long. Every team, every game, everywhere you go. Download the NHL app and never miss a moment.
Your favorite shows, your favorite games. Don't miss a second of your favorite SiriusXM programming on demand with the SiriusXM app. Download it now for free.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, December the 23rd. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, Toronto Maple Leafs face the Pittsburgh Penguins at 4 p.m. Leafs on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 946, Penguins on Internet 941. Detroit Red Wings face the Dallas Stars at 6:30 p.m. Red Wings on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 929. Stars on Internet 928. Boston Bruins face the Montreal Canadiens at 7 p.m. Bruins on Sirius 209, XM 220, and Internet 921. Canadiens on Internet 934. Carolina Hurricanes face the Florida Panthers at 7 p.m. Hurricanes on XM 223, Internet 924. Panthers on Internet 931. New York Islanders take on the New Jersey Devils at 7:30 p.m. Islanders on Sirius 211, XM 222, and Internet 937. Devils on Internet 936. Ottawa Senators face the Buffalo Sabres at 7 p.m. Senators on Sirius 210, XM 221, and Internet 939. Sabres on Internet 922. Washington Capitals face the New York Rangers at 7 p.m. Caps on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 950. Rangers on Internet 938. Minnesota Wild host the Nashville Predators at 8 p.m. Wild on XM 201, Internet 933. Predators on Internet 935. Chicago Blackhawks face the Philadelphia Flyers at 9 p.m. Blackhawks on XM 202, Internet 925. Flyers on Internet 940. Colorado Avalanche take on the Utah Mammoth at 9 p.m. Avalanche on XM 203 Internet 926. Mammoth on Internet 947. Edmonton Oilers host the Calgary Flames at 9 p.m. Oilers on XM 204 Internet 930. Flames on Internet 923. LA Kings face the Seattle Kraken at 10 p.m. Kings on Sirius 208 XM 219 and Internet 932. Kraken on Internet 943. Vegas Golden Knights take on the San Jose Sharks at 10 p.m. Knights on Sirius and XM channels 91 Internet 948. Sharks on Internet 942. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91.
The PGA Tour comes to life on Sirius XM. It's your destination for everything on the tour. Hear live, hole-by-hole coverage and expert analysis. PGA Tour Radio, Sirius XM 92.
New York Rangers legend and Hockey Hall of Famer Mark Messier joined Scott Laughlin on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91, to share what it was like to play in the 1994 finals with the New York Rangers, as well as ending the 54-year drought for the franchise and how that team represented what a hockey team is all about.
Well, look, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about 1994 as well. You mentioned Mike Keenan. We spoke with him in studio a couple of weeks ago. He still speaks so highly of you and of that run. So take us back to ending the 54-year drought. In Game 7, you get a power play goal. You shovel a puck underneath of Kirk McLean. Stands up as the game winner, as it turns out. So take us back to that hot, steamy night. What was it, June 14th of 1994 at the Garden in New York?
Just, I guess just starting, going to the rink, trying to keep your same routine. Brian Leach and I would always drive together down through Times Square, down Broadway 7th Avenue to take a right-hand turn on 33rd Street. And you could feel things were different, even from the Upper West Side. Just the vibe and the energy of the whole city was just electrified. Getting down towards Madison Square Garden, seeing the crowd already starting to build, the police officers surrounding the Garden. It was a carnival-like atmosphere. Obviously, we knew we were something on the cusp of doing something that hadn't been done in 54 years. The magnitude of it was palpable. I mean, the energy, just everything just seemed to be so electrified. You try to keep yourself in the moment. You try to stay with your routine. Obviously, there's a much more at stake. And then, we found ourselves, much like we did in 87, up 3-1 in the series, losing to the 5th game, where it was pretty much a foregone conclusion that New York Rangers were finally going to win a Stanley Cup after 54 years. Only to find ourselves the party atmosphere got a little bit delayed and then had to go back to Vancouver, which again, we got trounced in Vancouver, just like we did in 87. And now we're coming home for Game 7. And the same thing happened. It just, we felt good about our chances. We felt we were a better team than Vancouver. We felt that we should have wrapped up the series earlier against Vancouver, but that's the greatest thing about sports. You can think all you want, but the reality is they got a heartbeat over there too. They got pride over there too. They're there for a reason because they're a great team. And here we are in Game 7 and happen to go out and execute a great game plan to beat a very hungry, very young, very physical, hard team to play against in Vancouver. And luckily for us, we had a lot of experience. We had a dynamic, incredible amount of talent with Brian Leach and Sergei Zubov. Alex Kovalev, Adam Graves, and Mike Richter and net, and then sprinkled in with some veterans, some hardened veterans with McTavish and Tikkanen and Steve Larmer and Noonan and Mateau and Jeff Bukaboom and Jay Wells and all the amazing players that banded together that year to create maybe not the most skilled team that's ever won a Stanley Cup, but if you look up the word team, they could put the 1994 Ranger team right there, and that year, that team epitomizes what a team is all about.
Sirius XM has soccer covered end to end. Sirius XM FC. Hear live play-by-play and talk shows hosted by legends of the game. It's Sirius XM FC on Channel 157.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your Sirius XM NHL schedule for Tuesday, December the 23rd. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, Toronto Maple Leafs face the Pittsburgh Penguins at 4 p.m. Leafs on Sirius XM channels 91 Internet 946, Penguins on Internet 941. Detroit Red Wings face face the Dallas Stars at 6:30 p.m. Red Wings on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 929. Stars on Internet 928. Boston Bruins face the Montreal Canadiens at 7 p.m. Bruins on Sirius 209, XM 220, and Internet 921. Canadiens on Internet 934. Carolina Hurricanes face the Florida Panthers at 7 p.m. Hurricanes on XM 223, Internet 924. Panthers on Internet 931. New York Islanders take on the New Jersey Devils at 7:30 p.m. Islanders on Sirius 211, XM 222, and Internet 937. Devils on Internet 936. Ottawa Senators face the Buffalo Sabres at 7 p.m. Senators on Sirius 210, XM 221, and Internet 939. Sabres on Internet 922. Washington Capitals face the New York Rangers at 7 p.m. Caps on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 950. Rangers on Internet 938. Minnesota Wild host the Nashville Predators at 8 p.m. Wild on XM 201, Internet 933. Predators on Internet 935. Chicago Blackhawks face the Philadelphia Flyers at 9 p.m. Blackhawks on XM 202, Internet 925. Flyers on Internet 940. Colorado Avalanche take on the Utah Mammoth at 9 p.m. Avalanche on XM 203, Internet 926. Mammoth on Internet 947. Edmonton Oilers host the Calgary Flames at 9 p.m. Oilers on XM 204, Internet 930. Flames on Internet 923. LA Kings face the Seattle Kraken at 10 p.m. Kings on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 932. Kraken on Internet 943. Vegas Golden Knights take on the San Jose Sharks at 10 p.m. Knights on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 948. Sharks on Internet 942. For 24/7 coverage of the NHL season and hockey across the world, keep it locked on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio, Channel 91.
Follow every second of the action on NHL Network Radio. From behind the bench to every play on the ice. If it's hockey, it's on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91.
Six-time Stanley Cup champion and Hockey Hall of Famer Mark Messier stopped by Sirius XM NHL Network Radio's The Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin to discuss what Game 7 means to him and what it's like to also lose a Game 7.
Well, when you think about the two greatest words in sports, you think about Game 7 for many reasons. Obviously, to get to a Game 7, both teams obviously very evenly matched from the literal sense, the Game 7. You don't have to be a sport fan to understand that something's big at stake and that you will go watch it even if you don't know the teams, you don't know the players, you know the backdrop, because it's the greatest form of reality TV in the world, because there is going to be a winner and a loser. A lot at stake, obviously. But for me personally, it's a lifetime journey to acquire the skill set that's required to be able to perform when the stakes are the highest, under the most scrutinized pressure, when you're expected to perform. And you think about a Game 7 moment or Game 7, that's when you have to perform. It's a winner or go home situation. And what are the skill sets that are required to do that? Obviously, we've practiced our game and honed our skill set for years and years and years, tens of thousands of hours of honing our skills. But emotionally, mentally, what prepares you to play in those moments and perform when you're expected to? That, I think, is what really defines a Game 7 moment for the players that have excelled in Game 7 moments. And what are those life lessons that we can teach our young boys and girls, and the skill sets required to do that? The breathing, it's being able to slow your heart down, and your blood pressure goes up, and your decision-making is rash, and concentration varies because of all of it. What allows you to kind of really slow down and use your God-given talent, and then obviously the repetitions through your whole life that you know you can do it. You just got to be able to do it when it matters most. It's like hitting a home run, and like Aaron Boone did, or doing something special at the right moments. And I think the educational part of the docuseries is really fascinating to me there, to help our young boys and girls who will be faced with big decisions in their life. And you don't have to be a sport fan to have a Game 7 moment in life. Everybody's faced with decisions that are going to alter the trajectory of their lives in one way or another there. And we're trying to figure out what those skill sets are.
What does it feel like to lose a Game 7?
Fortunately for me, I never experienced what the Oilers did last year, of going all the way to the end in a championship game and losing in a Game 7. Anytime you get to a Game 7, it's a hard journey to get there. Two teams, evenly matched. It's been a war. It's been a tug-of-war. Everybody's hurt. Everybody's tired. And then to lose that is devastating. I think about my own experience in Game 7, winning 7 of them. The two still hurt to this day. What could I have done different? You know, you always say that you got to lose in order to understand how to win. I do agree with that. I think there are lessons in loss and in failure, both as a team and as an individual. If I had my preference, I would have liked to have learned those lessons while I was winning. But unfortunately, that's just not the way it is. But I look back at it now and just think about how grateful I am for all the lessons in wins and the losses, because it really ends up defining who you are as a person and as a player.
SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio is the place for expert advice, strategy, and information from the best fantasy sports analysis to win your league. Plus, hear pick-by-pick coverage of live drafts and interviews with top players, coaches, and team executives on SiriusXM 87.
I'm Frank Trachtenberg with your SiriusXM NHL schedule for Tuesday, December the 23rd. All times are Eastern, and please remember, all games, times, and channels are subject to change. Check SiriusXM.com for the latest updates. In the NHL, Toronto Maple Leafs face the Pittsburgh Penguins at 4 p.m. Leafs on Sirius XM channels 91, Internet 946, Penguins on Internet 941. Detroit Red Wings face the Dallas Stars at 6:30 p.m. Red Wings on Sirius 208, XM 219, and Internet 929. Stars on Internet 928. Boston Bruins face the Montreal Canadiens at 7 p.m. Bruins on Sirius 209, XM 220, and Internet 921. Canadiens on Internet 934. Carolina Hurricanes face the Florida Panthers at 7 p.m. Hurricanes on XM 223, Internet 924. Panthers on Internet 931. New York Islanders take on the New Jersey Devils at 7:30 p.m. Islanders on Sirius 211, XM 222, and Internet 937. Devils on Internet 936. Ottawa Senators face the Buffalo Sabres at 7 p.m. Senators on Sirius 210, XM 221, and Internet 939. Sabres on Internet 922. Washington Capitals face the New York Rangers at 7 p.m. Caps on Sirius and XM channels 91, Internet 950. Rangers on Internet 938. Minnesota Wild host the Nashville Predators at 8